And I think we
are live on all platforms, gentlemen.
Are we live on?
I wish we had a gigantic silent fucking fan, so when it was 100 degrees outside, I would die. That's the last time I'll bitch about it. Maybe.
Yeah, you can hit record. I'll just edit out the beginning. It'll be fine.
Table's not there. Will you do me a favor and put this on that?
Yeah.
We'll take the table over there.
Little tippy table table.
Okay. All right. What should we drink first? What's the lightest one? Let's got this Juan Lager. And just a reminder to make sure your phones are on silent. Paula, have you noticed on our Instagram and Facebook we've been getting a lot of weird spam messages lately?
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Are you Brittany Fitzgerald?
On the weekends.
Test.
Gotta pay the bill somehow.
Oh, I was gonna say only if it pays enough.
Hey Tyler, look this one. We'll do social media ourselves. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, and Paula will take a bunch of pictures for us too, and we'll make sure you guys have all the shit
Cool.
for it. So that's one thing. I don't know. I guess he'd probably
I think we're good.
talk to you about
That
stuff.
looks okay. I don't know.
And we are connected to TV.
Unless you are a
I'm not
songbird,
good with Max.
probably not.
So then, yeah,
Jesus.
whatever.
I am the songbird of a new generation.
That is Tyler's nickname on our podcast,
Oh,
actually.
Is it?
It is.
Does your voice sound like a mix between Fergie and Jesus?
No, just Jesus. Fergie's a little pitchy.
What we got on Instagram? A whole 2 viewers. Look at that.
Hey guys, thanks for coming in.
Thanks to all both of you.
Appreciate it.
No, it's not. It's not fine in the Chromecast, but that's okay.
Yeah, fucking Max, huh?
No.
Balls.
This is why Apple sucks.
Do you have the board on? I hear no voices from Jerry.
The board is on.
Oh, so
Do you have
Board's
your
on.
headphones on? Do you
Yeah.
need to turn it up?
Do I need? Oh, can you guys? Wait, where are my headphones? Are my headphones?
Are there mics?
see, it's not just me.
Your mic should be on.
hello.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there we go. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
In fact, I'm on.
We're good. It's good. It's all good. It's fine. It's never been more fine.
I need to turn mine down.
Turn that attitude down while
Once
you're
he's
at
done
it.
it, I want to get a test from you
Okay.
so that you're all. What's
Yeah.
Yeah. This is. I'm going to talk about beer quite a lot. The pineapple kush is quite nice. Nice little bitterness, a little bit of pineapple.
Have you had this
Um,
beer yet?
I have had that beer.
It's my beer of the summer right now.
Yeah.
Love it.
I kind of wish I had a little more pineapple to it, but it's
Sure.
It's,
Jeremy also has the eyes of someone who drinks too much,
I
and he's
do.
a raging
This-
alcoholic.
this is-
So
as was pointed to me by a guy who announced later he was the white Bill Cosby. So
Hide your feet.
That's all I can say.
Hide your feet. You'll wake up with your toe in somebody's mouth.
sounds good. What do you need me to say? Do I need to just ramble on drunkenly and
There you go. Everyone's
Little
on
hot.
the grid.
woo.
Pretty loud. His
He's
is
on-
really
It's
loud.
on one.
Yeah, I think.
I'll do-
Yeah. he's on.
one?
Now do our sound check where, where we have to scream into the microphone to like.
He's on one.
Yeah.
Are you positive?
Wait, no, I'm on one. I don't know, bro. I didn't fucking say.
Oh,
Oh, he's
bro.
on the deuce. Oh, that makes sense.
Is he on the
That's
deuce?
why.
So turn down the gain.
Yeah, we got our gain super high on this one.
All right. Talk again, Tyler.
I'm talking and maybe a little too loud still. I don't know.
Keep talking.
Well, this one time in
Yeah, it was one,
college,
and it was
I
good.
All right, stop that story. Stop that story in a hurry.
All right. I got it all back up and ready. Jerry, stop touching things.
I can't.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
All right.
it only costs $5 to touch something. So
Do you guys use Untapped?
Not as much as I should.
yeah.
Sure. We typically when we do the beers, we will. So that, we always rate on Untapped, and it is a 0.25 rating. You have to round it in quarters. 0.2550. And when people are like, "Yeah, about like a 3.84," not how it works. Not how it works. You can't rate it that way. That's an average.
Tell me what I can't do. It's every beer is now going to be rounded to like the 5th decimal point.
3.14, whatever fucking pie is.
3.141597. Eat it.
All right.
Keep going.
Nerd.
Rattle it off, bitch. Keep
on,
going.
on Untapped it is. And then we do have the Idaho beer, so we'll do I tap that segment. So we like to get extra judgy.
I do like to get judgy.
Yeah. Judgy little bitch.
That's my nickname on our podcast.
Yeah, lemon stealing
Oh.
core.
That's my nickname among the brew crew. Tons of fun.
Dad bots are in style, okay?
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Solange.
What if you're just fat? Is it a
Fat
dad
and
bod if you
sassy.
don't have kids?
It isn't, so you don't have one. I'm officially transitioning
I got a
into
dog close enough.
We're working on it. We're getting there.
Today I'm fat. In October, dad bod.
All right.
Fat and sassy.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So currently I'm the only one in the room. That's all right. It's going away. It's going away.
Your children?
No, my dad bought. I'm down 20 pounds since February.
I thought you were trying to sell the kids on
So did
something.
I. was like, what fucking direction did
Well,
this
this-
podcast
Hey,
take?
This
took a
this
real
got real
dark turn.
awkward, but what is your asking price? Asking for a friend.
Jeremy's got to know so he doesn't go too high or too low.
What do white kids go for on the black market?
Depends if Wayfarer takes their.
blonde-haired,
Depends on if they'll fit in a cabinet nicely or not.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids. They go for
Oh, there.
A
Oh, yeah.
lot.
That's premium.
yeah.
Wow, this got dark.
Welcome to Brewnomics.
This is what happens when you bring us in. Should have warned you.
All right. Well, let's fucking just get after it. Count me down, boo.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, going down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another Brewnomics podcast. Shit, what's the episode, Will?
Episode 129.
There we go. I'm your host, Jerry.
I'm William.
Oh, hi. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Tyler.
Shit, I forgot Paula didn't have a microphone. He's just here being the tech guy.
He's being awesome.
And you're like, who is Jeremy and Tyler? Unless you're cool and you know, obviously, a couple of great dudes, another awesome beer podcast that you should probably listen to if you've got any sort of taste. It's all about beer. So with our powers combined, we're just going to drink beer.
We're having a
do it.
I'm
giant
down.
mashup tonight. And it's great.
Pretty much. So, as always, before we really get into anything, we need to do a little bit of an icebreaker here and, of course, drink a beer. And our first offering is brought to us by our new friend Tyler from OEC Brewing Cool Ship Lager Beer. It's a Czech style blonde lager.
Yeah, found it at the local Boise Co-op downtown. Was talking to the beer buyer about it a little. Was telling me it is a double decoction blonde lager. If anyone's ever had any experience brewing, decoction mashing is a royal pain in the ass. So I can only imagine a double decoction.
It's once you're doing a decoction, it doesn't get any more of a pain in the ass. It just is. It's
And then they cool it by pouring everything into a cool ship, let it ferment for the first couple days, cool ship to give it a little bit of that funk. And then from there, they lager it for 2 to 3 months. So
rock on.
It's pretty much about what the can has to say as well. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, it was a few podcasts ago. We had their dark version, and I really liked it. So that's a great pour right there. Let's see how this one goes. I'm getting there, guys. It's pouring. It's pouring.
We'll go over all the untapped stuff after we rate it. That way we don't, give ourselves a bias or whatever.
Sure.
still pouring. Anyone who's watching this knows that this is way better than a Jeremy pour here.
Oh, eat my asshole. Somewhere, Renee, if you're listening to this, shut up.
I have heard of your pours. They're a little bit legendary on your
Son
show.
of a bitch.
They I think there was one of them where it was like half foam.
Yep,
At
Yes,
least.
that's a Jeremy
most-
pour.
now I just do it just to I have to live the legend.
Okay, there it is.
If they're going to call you it, you
It's
might
like
as well
once
do the honor.
once you have a hit, whether you like it or not, you just have to play it at every
He's
show.
basically the Vanilla Ice of shitty beer pours.
All right. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Nobody does.
interpret that for me, Tyler.
But it's so provocative.
I was like, is there a lyric that I'm missing somewhere?
So these mofos are from Oxford, Connecticut. Oh, so this is a schwanky beer.
Yeah,
So posh.
sends their kids to private school.
This is like, oh, never mind.
It's right up my alley. That sounds great. No, it's nice. It's clean, refreshing. I get.
You get a little bit of kind of that
Yeah.
funk, but not like super horse
Way,
blankety.
way in the back, you get those
Yeah.
like fruity esters, a touch of banana, just a little bit of phenols. Yeah, a little bit of horse blanket, but I mean, it's way in the back. And right up front is that nice, sweet, like honey sweetness, nice balance, spicy hops.
I didn't realize that a beer could be slightly funky, but still crisp.
Will they
Like
know more about
crisp
beer
and
than
light.
we do? I'm like, it's
Try it on it. Just
it's,
make it.
It's cool and refreshing. It tastes light and nice.
All right, so the first thing you do is just start making up words.
And just start
And
hop
people,
in first,
here's the
and
thing.
then everyone else has to come up
Nobody's
with shit
questioned
after.
us yet.
Exactly. Like it's
They just look at us blankly and they assume we have knowledge.
it's
Right,
not-
they've got a podcast. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
must know something.
You can't, they don't give them to anybody.
right. You can't just like start that on your own.
As far as color on this beer goes, it actually has a little bit of cloudiness to it. It's not haze. You can still see through it, but it's definitely, I don't know. Would you say that that's filtered? I'd probably say it's unfiltered, right?
It's definitely
Unfiltered.
unfiltered.
It's
Yeah, it's
unfiltered.
definitely
And
unfiltered.
unpasteurized.
And,
of
I was
course.
gonna say and unpassionate. Fucking beat me to it.
No, it's quite nice.
It actually is, especially because it's like a bajillion degrees in this fucking room right now. It's at 102 degrees outside right now.
Yeah.
And I turned off the air conditioner when we record. 'cause it's
Perfect.
loud.
So,
Yeah.
if I ever wanted to hang in a room with 5 sooty white guys, this is
hey,
living
hey,
that dream. Oh, sorry.
4-in-1 POC. He's
One bar.
pretty white though.
I'm way white.
Yeah.
Look at the Docker shirt.
Touche.
That's what threw me off.
Oh fuck! So what do we? So and obviously we're gonna rate it Untapped from a 0.25 all the way up to a 5. I like this one. I'd give it a good old. I'd give it a 3.25. I'd drink it again.
I like it. As far as lagers go, yeah, there's a weird kind of a funk there. I'm not sure if I quite like that enough to rate it. 3.25. Just yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
It's a good rating for me at this point anymore.
It's
I've
mo- it's
become
better-
such a
it's better
judgy
than-
bitch.
I know.
I was about to say, you guys are harsher than me.
It's better than a 3, and I just don't feel like it's doing anything super spectacular, but it is definitely a good definition. I think of a actual lager. So
I'd go as high as a 4.
Really?
I mean, it's a very nice, refreshing, really well balanced, and the balance of the funk and the hops and everything is really hard to do in a thing like this. So, no, I don't know what your system of rating is though either. So maybe I need to be bitchier.
And that's pretty much it, really. This is what episode we're on? 129.
Yeah.
Times probably 4.5 beers. Just become a little bit more I don't know.
choosy. You're a little
Afterwards, My
choosier.
standards are a little bit higher, especially with a lager, and it's being like 5.2%. I'm like, you really got to blow my dick off at that rate. Currently, it's
what
still
lager-
attached to my body.
What lager blows your dick off?
Not
then?
a single
is there
one.
is there a lager that rates a 5 point? A 5 point?
No, I don't know if I've ever rated a beer a 5.
Oh,
You haven't.
So
You've
you're
come
one of those.
close.
I've come close. I've done like 4.75s and
I think you
stuff,
have
but-
two of them that are like 4.75,
Okay,
but that's
probably.
it.
I do rate beers 5. So
Yeah.
I am that person.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with
I'll
that.
do it. Yeah, I've got a
Uh,
couple even on the show, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever done it.
I'd give it a 3.5. I mean, I'd definitely shove this down my gullet and pee it out again. So
for reference, is there a beer that you
By the way, on It's All Beer, I want
Yes.
to stress how
Okay.
classy we are.
The classiest of all the podcasts. You guys fit right in. I hope your pee doesn't look like this beer, though.
Depends on the
depends
day.
how many I've had that day.
Drink more water. That's all I can say. Well, I guess let's get on with the show.
real quick, we have one event that's
God.
upcoming.
Damn it, Will.
This is part of the show. I don't get why you're swearing at me. We have one event, amazingly enough, even amongst everything that's going on in the world. There is going to be an event on Friday, September 11th. 2C is going to host their own Lager Fest over there down on First Street in downtown Nampa. So if you're in the Boise area, make sure you swing over there and check that on out. Should be a lot of fun. Pretty sure it's going to start in the afternoon, but they'll be going to late.
It's going to be so American over there.
Yeah. They're going to have live music and that kind of thing. Plus, they just expanded their patio. Super nice.
Feel like that's a euphemism for something in your.
Just super American.
Jeremy,
I love
it's
it.
2C.
I'm no, that's why I said it feels like a euphemism for something.
Oh, but yeah, that'll be fun.
I use Northern Idaho for the same terminology.
Shots fired.
Hey, no, I love to see. They're great, but
Yeah, but he's from Northern Idaho, so I like to.
hey, there.
Oh,
we
well,
go.
then we can trash on it as much as we want.
let me
And I live out in 2C now.
Let
so-
me rephrase that statement. I really love 2C Family Brewing. I don't know about like the
Nobody
2C.
loves 2C.
All right. Well, now can we get on?
Yes,
with it?
please.
Will you allow it?
I figured that was part of the episode, so just go ahead.
Fuck, Thanks. Jesus. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm editing you so much this episode.
So you guys also
Nobody
do
puts baby in the corner.
Exactly. All About Beer is the name of your podcast. You've been doing it for about a year. So obviously we're a beer and pop culture show. If you've been if you're listening to this, you probably know that unless you're
new because you're one of their followers, and
Exactly.
hey, we're getting some good.
but that's
crossover.
what we're all about. But there's not really going to be much pop culture on this show. It's just going to be all about beer.
We're just
I
going
guess
to
you
nerd
could
out.
say. And podcasting, and we have a couple of cool guys that know a lot of cool shit about this. So, what made you guys want to get into a podcast? Let's talk about that first. A little bit about what I guess your podcast is, and then
Jeremy, you want
The
to
why.
start off?
Well, so me and Tyler started working together at one of our local homebrew stores, and we quite enjoyed.
2014?
Yeah, this was 2014. We quite enjoyed the banter that we would get into, and so I think very early when I had gotten into podcasting before then. I'd wanted to start a podcast or a couple or 5 or 6 is where I'm at now. But
Literally, they'll let anyone do it.
they really will. There's no barrier. But at some point in time, I said, "Hey, we should do something about beer," and finally Tyler was on board. So yeah, last year we launched It's All Beer. Our podcast is kind of billed as beer news for the beer industry. We that's where we see our market is people who work in the industry, distributors, people who are in the trenches of the breweries, and just people who like beer and are interested in what is happening, because it's a incredibly fun, diverse, interesting industry.
Kind of on a roller coaster, at least this past year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we started at about the right time. So I think the event that got us kickstarted was when Anheuser-Busch
syrup wars.
So Beer Wars was when that happened. I don't know if you remember, way back when, in the long ago before
When we had
times
Super Bowls.
of 2019,
before times.
in the long ago. There's this little company called Anheuser-Busch.
Never heard of them. They must be new.
They got slightly bitchy during their Super Bowl commercial, and they accused Miller Coors of putting corn syrup in your beer. And we decided that it was time to start a podcast about beer news, and that was one of the first things we did was try to inform the world of why that was horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have enough fun when we were both working together. Jeremy started a Twitter account called Nihilist.
No. It was big. It was
Emo Budweiser.
emo, but it was based. It was a rip. A full on. I was gonna say it was based on. It was a full on rip off of Nihilist Arby's. But I started a Twitter account called Emo Budweiser. It's still there, and every once in a while I still poke it. It's basically I just troll Anheuser-Busch.
Still haven't got a cease and desist yet, so we're a little disappointed.
I'm getting there.
Gotta step that troll game up.
A little bit of backstory kind of on the name of It's All Beer. While Jeremy and I were working together,
Yes.
if you ever listen to one of our podcasts, I get a little heated sometimes, and
You don't say.
no, shocking, and get a little loud and aggressive. Well, we were talking about, it was the NABA awards came out. I think it was Payette's Fly Line.
Correct. It was Payette's Fly Line, because Fly Line, to their credit, they win a lot of awards, but never in Vienna Lager, which is what they marketed as.
Correct.
And this particular year, 2014, 2015, they won for cream ale.
So we sat down at the place we were working, pulled a couple cream ales off the shelf, pulled a couple Vienna lagers and the fly line.
Wait, the fly line won in a cream ale?
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck?
They've also won in
It
a
is
Dortmunder.
it is a Vienna lager, though, right?
They brand it as
they
a
market
Vienna
as a
lager.
Vienna Lager, but
It's a
one
little too light in color to win as a Vienna lager. So they enter it as a cream ale, a Dortmunder export. It's one as
Those are the two that I know of.
yeah. And so we
Dormammu export?
Dortmunder.
Dortmunder.
Okay. It's not Dormammu.
That would be very interesting. I think Dr. Strange would have to look into that beer a little. It's a comic reference for you guys across the table.
That's why I'm like, oh, they're making a reference. Okay. I have been out geeked.
Only in some things, not everything, sir. Keep going.
But so we then start getting into beer styles, which if you've ever deeply looked into beer styles, it's a clusterfuck and everything kind of meshes together. And it's like, this style overlaps with this style, and this style also overlaps with this other style. So whichever one you really want to call it, you can call it. And then we got on the topic of Brewdog's 55% alcohol end of the world beer. And Jeremy argued that it was a whiskey, not a beer. And I argued, no, it's an ice bock. That's what the style is. They've just took it to the next level to make it that high of alcohol. Well, finally we get to the point where I just yell, "Fuck it, it's all beer."
To be
It
fair, at
doesn't
this point, I'm like purposely like poking at Tyler's last nerve at this point in time. I mean, there is this element of that is at play here. Is like, ooh, he's getting a little bit pissed off. How much more pissed off can I make him before he hits me?
I know there's this button, and every time I push it, he just gets so pissed off. And the right thing to do would not push it, and buzz.
But yes, at one point in time, he did throw up his hands and just say, "Fuck it, it's all beer."
This is also, mind you, why we're working, and we've been having this conversation for probably 2.5 hours.
Completely sober. All right, I want to stress that.
I totally believe that statement as well. Totally believe it. Cool. All right. Have you guys had any? I've listened to a few episodes, but you guys haven't had any guests yet, have you?
One, we had Chris, who is trying to start up Gem State Brewing.
Oh, I have heard of such.
That was our summertime special last year. Fun fact: this will be our summertime special this year. We don't exactly plan a summertime special, but they just kind of happen.
Okay.
Well, you ever need somebody to fill in? You got 4 people here that'll gladly, take a chair whenever you guys need a vacation.
Well, there we go.
So, but yeah, no, it's been great. And I think the last time
was
you
that-
missed an episode, Tyler, was when you got married, right?
No, it was actually when my grandmother passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah.
Wow, Will. Wow.
But
I
I
was
did
trying
just
to tell
recently
him-
get married, so
I was trying to tell him congratulations and bring
Well,
up a
thank
happy
you.
memory.
And
sir.
look at how that played out.
Well, at least you didn't say congratulations for the dead grandmother.
Yeah.
of course, that would be weird and maybe
But it-
inappropriate.
on the
Depends
bright
on the grandmother.
side, I
Depends on the
hate
grandmother.
Jägermeister, and that episode we were going to be drinking the Jägermeister Stone collaboration, so I did kind of
Oh.
dodge a bullet there.
I mean, I'm glad I tried it. I would not try it again.
I have not tried that one. I have not.
So
Let's try this beer, though. So this is from a brewery out of Portland, Maine that I have not had. Lone Pine Brewing Company. Tropical Pale Horse. It's or Tropical Pale Horse. Jesus Christ.
Tropical Pale Ale. It's been a very long day. It's very hot outside. I think we broke the record yesterday in Treasure Valley. It's like 103 degrees. Today's 102
We're talking about outside or in here?
outside, but in here it's probably just as
getting
much.
close.
I know how a microwave pizza feels now.
Yeah. Still frozen in the middle, just in the heart area.
Yep.
This is the Seahorse Seashell Potty. Who didn't invite me? Why didn't I get invited? If you know, you know. If not, look at that YouTube video. What YouTube video, Jerry? I don't know. If I can figure it out. So this is a tropical pale ale brewed with Mosaic and Enigma hops, unfiltered, unpasteurized, because all good things are wild and free. Just like Paula's nuts right now. Keep refrigerated. Hoppy beers are better fresh. Live yeast may settle. Right at 5%. All right. That's what the can has to offer us.
On Untapped, we've got 832 check-ins and 702 ratings. And we'll just go ahead and throw it out there. We're sitting at right about 3.72. We'll see if that's high or low here in a second. What do you guys think about this beer? You guys I noticed you guys have tasted a little bit. I'm still have yet to lift it to my nose.
Well, I'm gonna be that guy. What's the date on the can?
Oh, because it says fresh.
Who brought this beer?
just-
Was this Jerry? Did you buy
I'm
this?
just taking by the look on your face that my assumption is kind of correct.
May 29th.
Oh, okay, it's not as bad
Not
as I
too
thought.
bad.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I'm not. No, that's acceptable. That's acceptable.
But to me, it feels like the aroma's just a smidge muted.
Yeah,
That was going to
agreed.
be my main knock on it. But knowing that it was canned May, for what it is, it's held up remarkably well.
I mean, I think I feel like the balance is off in the aroma and in the flavor a little bit. I feel like I get that sensation of hops dropping off, that kind of really grassy sort of kind of stale flavor, and it's really kind of bitter for like a tropical fruit pale ale.
It's not danky.
I couldn't
that-
put it better. I
for
was
as-
going to
as
say
bitter it is.
it's not tropical and it tastes stale. I kind of agree. I fucking hate it. I don't know what else to say.
Jerry loves to hate.
I'm not
not good.
What did you? I'm guessing you brought this. You picked it up.
I did.
Do you remember what you paid for it off the top of your head?
Like
$3.69.
three something a can.
It's usually what they. Yeah, $3.69,
But
$3.79.
I'd also say if
I've been
it's-
seeing at
It's only
16
from
ounce.
May. It should. I mean, May is only.
2.5 months.
on the-
I'm about to say 5 years ago.
5 years. I think that's what it feels like. So we're at about
We're actually at-
almost 3 months actually.
That's acceptable.
Almost 3
That should be
months.
acceptable for an IPA. So
We're in May. I thought we were at March, 128th day.
It's like I said.
Yeah.
That's why I said 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. It came from Maine. Sometimes you never know how this shit's stored
True.
either,
But I mean,
or transferred, or
The hot to cold, hot to cold.
yeah,
but
exactly.
I also feel like it is just generally kind of out of balance.
Mhm. I would love to try a fresh on tap at the brew pub or whatever, but so far where it is in the can, this is it tastes like seahorse shit.
Yeah, there's something skunky in there. It's kind of off.
So I'm gonna give this a 1.5. It can go fuck itself.
Be a little bit higher than you. I'll give it a 2.5
Oh, what a sweet guy.
because I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that
Yeah,
there's
well.
something that happened in transit going from all the way across the country, and the fact that it's at that date. But go ahead,
What's it? A pale ale?
Jeremy. Yeah,
Tropical pale.
Tropical pale ale.
I mean, here's my biggest complaint besides it being completely out of balance. It's not a pale ale. It's an IPA trying to be a pale ale.
Lower
I,
alcohol IPA.
I
Yeah.
would agree.
But 5% is still an IPA. It's at the lower end of IPA range, but it's still IPA
Session
range.
IPA.
Oh, don't
Hey,
get me started on
they're
that
low
side.
cal IPA now. They're low cal IPA.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
or you mean the diet IPA? The Dippa?
No, it means the third
I-
time rebranding an extra pale ale because no one can get fucking creative to peddle this swill.
Tyler has no strong opinions on this concept at all.
think we
2.5.
might-
I'll go with 2.5. I agree.
2.5.
All right.
It's like you're looking in a mirror, man. Jerry,
Isn't it amazing?
It's
Isn't it
so
amazing?
blowing my mind, man. You guys are just
We could be your doppelgangers.
Right. I
Yeah.
also super love
Which means we need to get we need to get what
Brown guy.
You need a brown guy.
I was trying to think of a better way to say it, but
Hey, I was gonna say a guy to run our tech, but
Tech.
but maybe that's
Brown guy.
That
maybe
cannot
that's
be
one and the
white.
same. Maybe that's one and the same.
Hey, we have 2 Pocs on this show.
Yeah.
Just only one today. So one of my favorite things, if we're getting past this beer, because I think we need to, I'm always curious to see people. Well, really, it's kind of a 2-part question. People that really love craft beer, when did you discover that? What was the beer? And then also, is there a shit beer that you still enjoy? You're like, it's a fucking hot damn going to the river. God, bring me a fucking PBR.
so Jeremy, I'll let you go
Want to
first.
start? Want me to start?
I'll elaborate a little more on mine.
So so I got sort of shanghaied into craft beer.
Okay.
In college, I had a group of friends who were into it because it was cool, and I wanted to be cool too. So ergo, I like craft beer. I would say, but the first
You
craft beer,
poser.
so my friends all drank Arrogant Bastard.
Okay, the
Stone, yeah.
the super bitter.
I got
one,
I
yeah.
got so upset when I first got into craft beer. I had like 4 people be like, "Oh, I saw this beer and thought of you." And the first time I was like, "Oh, that's clever." And the second time I was like, "Really?" And the third time I was like, "Come on." And the fourth time I was like, "Get out of my house!"
You're like, be original.
And the fifth time you're like, yeah, I guess that
All
fits.
right. I guess there's a
Everybody has
reason.
it today, then.
But I have to admit, I didn't like it at the time.
No, it's not.
It ta- To me, it tasted of metal.
It's not a great starter beer. You can start it in a
But
craft.
I choked it down because again, I was young and wanted to be cool. I wanted to hang with the cool kids. But I did develop a love for, I think it was Rogue's hazelnut brown ale, and my
up top here. Come on. Thank you.
and
Yeah.
actually my dad started home brewing when I was a teenager, and I so I helped. It was kind of a father-son project, so I would drink that beer. He would make mostly like wheat beers and pale ales and what have you. So that'd be my first, regular drinking beer. But I didn't really get into craft beer in a big bad way until about halfway through college. I found Stone's Ruination that I really liked. The first IPA I really liked.
Stone's hit or miss on basically everything. So.
Yeah, so there's one hit or miss, and I kind of fell into the Eugene, Oregon beer community, and then I made homebrewing a weird sort of career, and there we go.
Here you are. Do you have a shit beer of choice?
Modelo.
Oh, nice. Okay, I can. Mine is just
by-
shitty Mexican
by,
beer.
By
I
shit,
love it.
I assume by shit beer you mean like a mass-produced domestic.
Exactly.
Modelo is still the beer to this day, and Modelo Especial is still the beer that I will drink an entire 12-pack of, and I'd be extremely happy.
I can get behind that. Absolutely. All right,
That's
Tyler,
fine.
your turn.
So first beer that kind of got me into craft beer was Sockeye Dagger Falls. A guy I worked with here down in the valley. I had some other craft beers, wasn't a huge fan of. Was like, hey, you should try this beer. I got a friend that works at the brewery. I really like it. Tried it. Oh, this is delicious.
So you started off in the IPAs
I
right
started
away.
off in the IPAs.
Okay.
And then ended up getting super big into Dale's Pale Ale.
Okay, Oscar Blues.
Oscar Blues. And then from there, it actually got to the point where I couldn't drink Dagger Falls because it was too hoppy. I'd burnt myself out on it.
Okay.
Just started being able to drink it about December again.
Nice.
So that was kind of the beer that got me into craft beer. And then from there, I started trying more and more, trying beers from around other places, got into home brewing. And from there, then moved into working in the beer industry.
Okay, and so you've now. I'm guessing this isn't your first gig being at Craft Brewers of Boise with Jeremy.
I actually don't work there.
Oh, you don't work there? Okay,
Nope.
my bad.
No, it was a different homebrew store that we both
Different
worked at.
homebrew
Yep.
store. Okay.
So after I left there, I worked for a smaller local craft brewery, County Line Brewing, right next door to the place we used to work.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then from
I'm
there, I'm
familiar.
working at another brewery right now. So
All right, great. You don't have to say your employer if you don't want to.
no.
We're a little bit careful just for a couple of reasons. Number one,
Yeah,
we
you
like
don't
to say when we're talking about the beer industry, we want to be free to talk about what's going on, and
Yeah.
just being a
Seen as more impartial.
free from our employer constraints, both from their perspective and ours. Just
Well, and you don't want to burn bridges anywhere,
the
but at the same
opi-
time, you want to be able to hold your opinion in high esteem as somebody who
Yeah.
can judge properly.
and the
100%.
opinions of It's All Beer are not necessarily those of the people we work for. So
Exactly, entirely.
they're definitely. In fact, they're
people
definitely.
that
In fact, they're definitely not. Like 90% of the time.
I had a great conversation about just like somebody talking about, okay, well, do your opinions away from Brewnomics that's not on the show represent the show? And I'm like, heck no.
Oh, I've said so many times on the show, especially the shit I say. I feel like you can relate, Tyler. Like, these views do not represent the opinions and ideologies behind Brewnomics.
No, that's my.
It's
That's
just
what
one
that's what I
asshole.
say on the podcast. That's what I
after
say.
I say something.
Northern Idaho.
There it is.
And as Jeremy just said, I'm originally from Northern Idaho, so I do have a big soft spot in my heart for shitty beer. So
All right.
Sure. Did you go and just get like the silver can that just says beer on it?
no, they didn't have that. I did. My Dad did win at a carnival a Red Dog, and I thought it was like a Red Bulldog. And I thought it was the coolest thing because he always used to drink Red Dog beer. So I was like, yeah, that's the best beer ever. And I got this stuffed animal. This is awesome. Probably terrible parenting move, but
But not for Northern Idaho.
Not for Northern
and,
Idaho.
and
about
in
right.
the 90s, so you were allowed to.
Oh,
get
you're
away.
fine.
You're fine.
I feel like you could still give your child a beer in the 90s, and it was
Yeah.
more or less fine.
I
It
mean,
was
the
like,
first beer I ever drank, we were out camping, and my dad was drinking Ice House ice.
Ice baby.
Ice House
Mr.
Ice.
Zimmerman,
Yeah,
all your
Ice
secrets
Ice.
are coming out now.
And I was like, I looked at
Quick,
my
give him
mom.
more
I was
beer.
like, I don't want water. And she's like, well, we only have water and beer. And I was like, I don't want beer. And my dad's like, here, try it. And I tried it and I was like, this is fucking
And that's
terrible.
where-
I'm never drinking this stuff. And went 180 once I.
And here we are.
Yeah.
So that's what happens to us all.
But kind of the shit beer that's down home and close. Coors Original, the banquet beer.
Mm, I like the banquet.
Rainier or Rainier for you unsophisticated swine.
I was like, what the fuck is
he talking
about?
And hams.
Oh, I remember hams. Did you ever have Schlitz beer?
I've had Schlitz, just their malt liquor, never actually
Okay.
the.
It's
Schlitz
right
one.
around the same.
Yeah.
It's kind of up there with like Olympias or whatever.
Yeah.
you know.
Olympia.
Columbia.
My go-to was always just playing beer darts with hams and being like, I'm getting hammed on hams.
There you go.
So
Cool.
Because we talked about it. Our favorite game we've talked about on the show many times that you should do is we call it just lawn darts, but beer darts is better. Get yourself 2 junior size hula hoops, whole bunch of shitty beer, and I guess really all you need are 1 set of steel tip darts.
Yep.
Set them. It's your call, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet away, depending on how good you are at darts. Get away, toss your dart at the can. You hit the can, motherfucker on the other side shotguns it. It's
I played
so
in the
fun.
basement of a house I lived in the hallway one time because it was too cold outside to play outside. So
That seems like an idea.
terrible idea. But that house was shitty, so
You're nicer than I am to him on the. I mean,
I'm trying to
just so you know, I mean, we're guests, but I abuse him all the time on the podcast, so feel free.
the engineer mind that I have was trying to figure out how you could make that work. And now I'm thinking like, well, would you just have like a swimming pool and then just line it with foam and then put the beers in the foam? Would that work?
no.
But-
So when we play beer
No, it
darts,
probably
we
won't.
do like a
Still
diamond
won't.
shape of 4 beer cans.
Yeah.
And then just have them there. And from that, we then throw. We had it in the basement hallway, and so one team would stand in the room because the hallway was way too narrow for anyone to stand behind it. So you'd stand in the room, the other team would throw. Then when you're throwing, the other team would, and punctured a couple holes in drywall and had beer spray all over the basement, but
Yeah, you're wiping down the walls a little bit, but you know, it's fine.
or not. But
Or not.
Just leave it. They're victory stains. Oh, you ain't got no victory stains? Well, I feel sorry for you.
college was a blurry time.
A very blur. Like I said, like for me, like probably 22 to 25, 26.
Fair.
That's the only way I can describe that period of my
That's-
life. I got
That means
arrested
you
twice.
did it right.
That's all I.
For me, it was probably about 18 to
32.
I'm 28. So
Because you're not
You got a
done
few
yet.
more. You're not done yet. You're right, baby.
All right, cool. Let's move on to our next beer. This next one I picked up at Growler Guys. I picked up a crowler of it. So this is the Lord Moore. I want to say it was under $10. This is from Bear Island Brewing. It is a Scotch ale or a wee heavy.
Oh, it's a Scotch, huh?
Yeah.
Lord Moore.
Yeah.
That was
Lord
not
Moore.
a good Scottish. Can't do a good
Accent.
Scottish. Can you guys do accents?
nah.
Give me your best Scottish. Say Lord Moore in your best Scottish accent. All right, your turn, Jeremy.
I'm actually sure that is a dialect somewhere.
If you've ever got a Scotsman drunk,
To be fair, that's probably the best one. I mean, it was unintelligible and drunk. Lord Moore.
There it is.
go.
Yeah, that works.
My best attempt.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is about, I want to say under $10. I haven't seen it around much. I know that you can only either find this either at the tap room. Uh-oh.
my pants.
Oh,
Oh, no.
It was from the beer can.
That's what happens when you skip the bathroom break.
it's okay. That you had Jeremy has his Jeremy pours. These are the Basco pours. So usually
Careful,
drip.
you will now hold this title for the rest of your natural existence. So
And somewhat beyond.
I mean, you've had beers explode on you before. We've had to stop the show. It's yeah. I do not envy you in your position of always opening the
it's
beer for us, but I appreciate it, sir.
It is what it
That's
is.
this guy here.
That's also
Yeah.
probably true. It's not.
Yeah.
How many times have I complained about the heat in here? That's so hot. Okay, so man, this is a dark looking beer. Which I mean, you said it's a Scotch ale.
Or a wee heavy.
What are we heavy?
well, which one is it? A Scotch ale or wee heavy? Seriously, there is a difference.
But as we explained earlier,
what's-
there's a lot of overlap in the styles.
What's the ABV?
ABV is 7%.
Then that's a wee heavy.
So what's the difference of a Scotch ale to a wee heavy?
Well, actually, Scotch ales are surprisingly light in alcohol. They from a down to the light Scotch ales, they go down from about 3% all the way to exports in and around 4 to 5%.
Huh.
And wee heavies go 7 and upwards. Without somewhere in there, I have to like pull up the actual guidelines, but
and granted, that's not. I don't know what Bear Island describes it as, but when you look on Untapped, it literally says Scotch ale /
wee heavy.
wee heavy.
That's probably the correct answer.
So one of the things that we just got here on Brewnomics, because we're super nerdy and whatever, is we got a little thermometer temperature thing via infrared. And we noticed that a lot of times, like stouts or Scotch ale, wee heavy, porters, that kind of thing, they need to be drinking at a little bit warmer of a temperature. Right now, this one that we're drinking, it is sitting at 52 degrees. Just as an FYI for anybody out there
feels
who's
way
looking.
colder.
Feels
than
way
that.
say,
colder
yeah.
than
So-
that. You're
But that's
thinking
that's handy.
So what we do on our show, because we are an Idaho-based,
54.6.
damn,
All right.
we are an Idaho-based podcast, and I personally, for the most part, absolutely love Idaho beer. So we're gonna,
Fair statement.
for the most part. But overall, I do think we do an
Don't
exceptional
do me so.
little job. So this is again the Lord Moore from Bear Island Brewing. So this is what we call our I Tap That segment. If you guys haven't listened, or if you're new to the show, the I Tap That segment is essentially where we get a beer from Idaho and decide if we'd tap it or not. Usually in a keg, typically not with our wieners, but sometimes things happen. But ultimately, would you put it in a keg? Do you want it in a
If your dick is shaped
kegerator?
like a Sankey, you need to go see a doctor.
I probably should. But would you drink it again? Would you tell a friend about it? Do you think it's worth mentioning? Obviously, so that's it. So since we have 4 people on there, it takes a 3 out of 4 yeses to get tapped. Otherwise, it can go fuck itself. So in this case, again, Bear Island Lord Moore Scotch Ale is what we're going to do. Let's take it.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cilantro.
Not much of a aroma to it. Pretty gentle on the nose, which I've kind of always found with Scotch ales. What makes me nervous sometimes with Scotch ales is I absolutely hate a smoky taste in any sort of liquid, rather it's Scotch or a beer or anything, and I get a little nervous sometimes. Let's see if that's the case here.
I think it has a really good malt flavor. Definitely malt forward.
I don't get any smokiness with this.
No
So
smoking.
that's the first thing I'm like, is it smoky? If it is, I'm gonna take a sip and pass it on. No, this is quite yummy.
I was going to say, Jeremy, I don't know if you know the answer, but most of the time it's not a requisite of a Scotch ale or wee heavy to have the smoke flavor. is it?
Absolutely not. In fact, BJCP explicitly states for all Scotch ales, smoke should not be a factor.
What is
Really?
BJCP?
Sorry, the Beer Judge Certificate Program.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We'll
you
have
weren't there
to-
when we
we'll have-
had the other Jeremy and Scott, the homebrew people.
Uh, so
We'll
the
have
Beer
to talk
Judge
to you about that
Certificate
later.
Program, or BJCP, is basically the organization that if there's somebody in charge of beer competitions in this country, it's them.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they are one of the 2 or 3 organizations that have have style guidelines that are widely used, and this is probably the most widely used. But they do state for all Scotch ales that smoke should not be a factor.
So that I find that very interesting, and I enjoy that. But why is it so many Scotch ales seem smoky then?
Because I think that's like convention. I mean, it's kind of a
People associate it with Scotch.
well.
Whiskey.
So you want like
Well, I
some
do think a
peatiness
lot
or
of Scotch
something?
ales are smoky,
Mhm.
but for competition, they want they want smoked beers to be entered in the smoked beer category.
Interesting.
And so now that doesn't now as far as if you're entering in competition that you can't use any smoked malt, but it shouldn't be something that stands out. I mean, you shouldn't if you were entering something that tastes like a campfire, you done fucked up.
Sure.
And people done fuck up all the time.
Less is more on smoke.
Yes, correct.
I mean,
And especially in
and even
in a-
less is too much in my opinion.
I'm right there with you.
Now, that being said, I do get a touch of smoke in this. I get a nice rich caramel, treacle, molasses, a little bit of like chocolate, and then right in the back, I do get a little bit of smokiness, but not so much that I would. I mean, if this popped up in competition, I don't think I would say smoky,
Yeah.
but there is a touch of it
Just
there.
a hint.
I would
Sure.
I would almost more define it maybe more as roasted, as opposed to just that extra little hint.
No, I don't really get a roastiness. I thought it'd be almost either way. I
But
think it's a good beer.
probably the same descriptor almost.
Sure, I mean, everybody's palate is different, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, your descriptions are it's what you taste.
No, I get some roasty coming in off of it. I can see where you're picking up the smoke. I don't know if I'd quite classify it as smoke, but
And that's why that's where I think it would definitely be.
if it does have a smoked malt in it, it's such a low amount that we should be able to get through.
Still a wee heavy.
Mhm.
So on Untapped, we actually have a description here.
Okay.
We've got 295 check-ins with 162 ratings. Comes in at 3.86 overall ratings, and it says our version of a Scotch ale with nuances of smoked malt, hint hint, brown sugar, black currants, and heather tips, named after our family's connection to Robert the Bruce, our Scottish heritage. Interesting. My Scottish heritage is William Wallace. Way the hell back
They
there.
probably banged. So
They were
I'm
friends. They
I'm
were
a straight
buddies.
up say I fucking adore this beer. I think it's great. I don't know. I love Bear Island, and that's not just because I think Beth will beat me up. I genuinely enjoy their beer. I think
She'll
it's
also beat you up.
also yes. But it's phenomenal. I'm a straight up give this a 4, and yes, I would tap it.
All right. I guess I'm next in the queue. I'm going to give it a 4 as well, and I would tap it.
4 sounds good to me, and yes, I would tap that.
Keeping the train going. So
There it is, unanimously.
motherfuckers.
This beer is getting tapped.
Do you often get a 4 out of 4? Or
Some not often. So when we do, because like the one thing that I'm really proud of is my bitchiness is even though they won't admit it, it's rubbed off on them.
okay.
So if as a whole we rated a 4.0 or above, we actually have a whole separate list that we call it a Brewnomics recommended beer. So I would 100% recommend this beer. I'm happy to add it to the Brewnomics recommended list, and I'm glad it's getting tapped. Phenomenal beer.
That'll be on the charting. Look for the website whenever we get around to that.
You know, eventually.
Yeah.
It's in progress, under construction currently.
code
We're
closed
actually,
due to COVID.
we're actually closer on that than we have been in a very long time. So, but anyways, yeah. Jerry, you got another question there? I noticed you guys were just talking about the Brewers competition. Does that have anything to do with the Cicerone program that you teach?
No, that's completely different. I mean, we've done some classes for the BJCP, but
Okay.
no, the Cicerone is complete.
Completely
Cicerone program is more training people to serve beer and serve beer, especially with food.
And recommend pairings for it.
Mm.
Basically, Cicerone is the sommelier of beer, where
Okay.
BJCP is similar, but you would need to become a BJCP certified judge and then work your way up through the ranks of the BJCP if you want to ever judge for the Great American Beer Festival.
So,
Okay.
so I've got both certifications, although I focus more on the BJCP.
Oh, look at you, big man on
I'm
campus.
very fancy.
Look
I'm
at
very
that.
fancy.
Big
Yeah.
dick on Jeremy.
It's not that big.
It's not.
It's not. No,
Is it a Macroponus?
about like an acorn.
Is
Really.
it really? It's like it'll at least hit the bottom of a tuna can.
Barely.
Barely.
If I work hard.
And dent it in a little.
It's small but fierce.
Just be proud.
So I've completely derailed this entire podcast. It's nice to know that. It's nice to know I have that power not only on my own podcast, but anybody else's too.
Boom, shakalaka.
All right.
The real
So this
wrong
has
time.
been It's All Beer.
It was definitely the wrong time to take a sip because I had to try so hard to actually keep that in my mouth. That's what she said. So I have to spit
I
that
think
all
that's
over
the second
the
or third
table.
time I've seen you almost just drench the soundboard. So
Good control. Good control. Nice.
Thank you.
Good
I've got-
muscular control
I've
on your
got
jaw.
great jaw control.
It hasn't happened yet, but we have a backup in case, just in case.
A wise decision.
I mean,
Yeah.
spitters or quitters. So
That's true. What is it? Love sucks, true love swallows. I saw when I used to work at the bar, I saw a girl walk in wearing that on a t-shirt. And I was like, you classy bitch.
Keeper.
You keep up.
And he married that woman. So that's where that story was going.
And she now lives with me. Please don't beat me up, Jessica. That is not true.
that's how he got VD for the first time.
second.
What?
Second time.
That's those two are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, they help though. Fuck. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions for us?
Yeah.
Oh, you're out. You're assuming we prepared for this.
No. You think we
I-
prepared for this?
I would kind of throw back to you guys. What's the beers that got you guys into craft beer?
Oh.
So mine is, even though it's not super craft beer, but the first beer, like I just thought for the longest time, because again, I grew up kind of New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, just
So basically, North Idaho, but just hot
and exactly
and desert.
exactly. And so we also, as a whole, I include myself with them, just love shit beer. So like the first time I remember having beer was a fucking Bud Light when I was like 6 years old, and just remember thinking it was the worst goddamn thing on the planet, and I just assumed that's what beer tastes like, pretty much for the rest of my life. So I was like, dang, I'm gonna be a liquor man. It did not turn out that way, although I do love tequila.
Good man.
Love tequila almost as much as I love beer. But Paula, Vic, and I, and a few more, we've been tight pretty much since the 10th grade, and we just started partying. And for a long time, it was like we drink Rolling Rock was our fucking fanciest beer. It's like it comes in a green bottle.
Old Latrobe.
And then you realize that's not
That's
a good
not-
thing. But we were at a bar, probably it was the East Side Tavern. I don't even know if that still fucking exists.
It does.
Oh, it does.
Just like the third owner since then. And they had a special on a pitcher of Widmer Drop Top.
Ah.
And for me, I drank that and I was just like, oh, that's a tasty adult beverage. I like that. And I was like, shit, beer can taste good. I haven't drank that beer in years because
Well,
obviously
it's
there's a lot
super
of
sweet.
I don't even know if I remember what it tastes like, but for me, that was very distinctly the first beer that I remember just enjoying. That I was like, I want to seek this shit out. And then I started researching beer a little. I don't know why I just put it inside your own cup there. I'm sorry. Researching beer a little bit more and kind of like I've always been a very go local guy since kind of my inception. And then I just started doing them. I was like, I like craft beer. I can't believe fucking Anheuser-Busch or MC bought out this person or put out this shit beer, whatever. Why are we? That's not, to me, it's not true capitalism. True capitalism is supporting like smaller places like that. So I don't know, but fucking Widmer Drop Top, man. Apparently Will's dick is 90 degrees.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You forgot to ask Paul what his is. So.
Oh, I know. Paula's dick is approximately 94.2 degrees at all
Oh
time.
my god, that's shit.
Celsius.
I'm at 86.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Cool balls.
Cool balls.
You're the only one in here.
Teach me your superpowers.
Oh, wise sensei.
We call him the eye sack.
Wax on, wax off.
What was the beer that got you into?
Oh gosh, I got introduced to craft beer because I told a friend who was super into craft beer, like, I don't really haven't figured anything out. Like I'd had some like Windmere like Hefeweizens. It was like, okay, this is fine. And he introduced me to, was it like 3 different craft beers that night? He's like, all right, let's just figure out what you like. And so he introduced me to like Boddington's, which is like a super heady blonde ale, cream ale.
Mm-hmm.
And then he introduced me to Hazelnut Brown Nectar, which was like the first beer that I really, really liked. Again, Jeremy, same exact beer.
Holla.
And then he introduced me to a stout and just all of the complexity. And really, that really opened up my eyes. And for the life of me, I can't remember what stout it was. It might have been Old Rasputin. But just, kind of discovering all the different taste flavors and everything. That night was what did it for me. And ever since then, you just go to the grocery store, and it used to be you couldn't even pick up like a 22 or whatever. You just have to go and get a 6-pack and cross your fingers. And then eventually, like, oh, I do not like IPAs at the moment. And then, slowly but surely, I worked for a place that we did a beer Friday every Friday, and the admission price was just a 22-ounce bottle or anything that would equal over 20 ounces. So that way we could all share. And, you had to make sure all your work was done, during the week. And every single person at that shop, other than myself, was a hophead. And so I quickly learned to appreciate some IPA and learned some really good ones. And that's kind of how I developed my palate. And then we started the show.
Rock on.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I've been drinking craft beer for maybe, 10 years. And that's all about it.
Yeah, about the same.
So,
Cool story, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
Time to drink another beer, motherfuckers.
If
So
it wasn't 100 degrees, I was gonna bring some barrel aged stuff, but
it's too hot for that shit.
It's never too hot for that.
Okay, someone. All right.
Sometimes
Tough
you
guy.
just get so drunk you can't feel it no more.
Amen.
Labor Day weekends.
The craft or the
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
the really, really drinkable beer that I like to get a lot is I wouldn't even call it craft beer, but it's just a Full Sail Session. That's just really good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and if not that, then maybe Banquet again.
I'm just gonna drink. Yeah, the session or a fucking give me a cheap Mexican beer, the Modelo Especial all day.
Yeah,
Very
those are
good.
really good.
Because Corona's fucking $10 a 6-pack.
It's
Who the
stupid.
hell do
Also
they think they
tastes
are?
terrible.
Wait,
It's not-
really?
It's
I have not looked at-
$9.99 a 6-pack.
I have not looked
bro.
at a Corona for quite some time.
I
but
can't every time. I can't fucking believe it.
They're
And one of
higher
my
than
best.
craft beer prices.
Yeah, and one of my best
Higher.
friends in the world, he fucking loves Heineken, and I did. That's all I'll
It's
drink,
like,
and
why?
it's $10 a 6-pack. I'm like, there's so much better beer for less or the same, and that's the shit you're drinking.
That used to be my argument against Ballast Point.
Mm.
$13 for a fucking 6-pack of
Or a
grapefruits.
4-pack.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can find so much better regional beer for half the cost.
It doesn't make sense.
I love that you brought that up because I've always been like, oh, Ballast Boys, go fuck off. Come on, now. Get fucked.
now
Well,
owned by.
when they got $1 billion, I was like, nice job, boys.
And how'd that work out for him?
They got sold again. They still got the money.
The,
So,
the biggest
worked
story,
out
the biggest
great.
story, the most fun we had last year, I think, was the great big Ballast Point debacle where they got bought by Kings and Convicts because
Oh,
it
hell
really,
yeah.
a
we
brewery that makes less beer than some of the local breweries in town.
I following that story was one of my, was really fun and really exciting because I think me and Tyler came in like each week going, holy shit, did you hear this? Oh my god, it's fucking bizarre.
It's like, let's just go make offers on any brewery we want.
That being said, do you guys know that the whole story or?
A little bit. We followed that for quite a while. We did
Okay.
news and industry news before the show,
Yeah.
and then it was like,
That was
we can't
season
keep
1 and
this
2.
shit under an hour, so we had to kind of kill that part of it. But let's for the people that don't know, because there are a lot. Yeah, fill them in.
So basically, it was these guys, Kings and Convicts, own one of their like investors or
Well, let's before you start with Kings and Convicts, let's set it up first. Ballast Point was bought for like $1 billion, and they're
by
like,
Constellation
like-
Brands.
and yes, which is a huge like distributorship.
The largest importer of beer in the country, actually,
Yes.
it turns out.
Yeah.
They do liquor and wine and beer, but they are the largest importer of beer.
And now they're in the cannabis industry.
and they even installed a brewery with Ballast Point in Disneyland. Like the
Mhm.
mall that's like connected to Disneyland
Oh,
really is
shit.
where it is. But yeah,
And
it's
they
like
have
the
tap
only
rooms
brewery.
all along California,
Oh yeah, all over the place.
all the way up to the Bay Area.
And then they
And
all
Chicago.
of a sudden, out of the blue, and then I'll let you take it from here.
Kings and Convicts out of Chicago, Illinois. One of their owners has a like hotel chain that they're a big investor in, so has a ton of money. They were out playing golf with some of the people from higher ups from Constellation Brands and go, "Hey, what are you guys doing with Ballast Point?"
Because they tried to do a lot
Yeah.
of things and it kind of
And Ballast
stuttered
Point
and
was
failed.
Oh, they
slowly
didn't know what-
dying off. They're
they had
closing
no
tap
idea.
rooms all the time. They're killing brands, and they had no idea how to run a craft brewery. And Kings and Convict goes, "Would you guys sell it?" And they're like, "Yeah, make us an offer."
And they lowballed them.
And
And
yeah,
they said yes.
yeah, they got it for was it 100 million or 150
I
million?
thought it was 300 million. But even that, when you're talking about a billion
going from a billion.
5 years ago
Yeah.
to 300 million,
That's a immense
drop.
loss.
and you're
That's
talking
a
about
drop.
a nationally recognized brand.
Yes.
Not only that, a nationally recognized brand that could sell a 6-pack for
$14.
Yeah.
$14 successfully.
Sold to a brewery that the year before they bought Ballast Point made less than 1,000 barrels of beer.
Yeah.
So for those
Fucking what?
That would be
for
like
those of you that don't know, a barrel of beer is 31 gallons. It's basically only used for tax purposes and equipment. So when you go buy the big keg, what everyone thinks of when they think of a keg, that is a half barrel keg. That's 15.5 gallons. So you got to sell 2 of those to make 1 barrel of beer. So they sold 2,000
kegs.
total half barrel kegs in 1 year.
Which-
and they bought a brewery that sold for $1 billion.
No, they
How
had
the
good
fuck did
investors,
they
but-
have
I
300
mean,
million?
and we always compare to them here locally to what, Powderhouse?
I think Powderhouse.
Powderhouse is about
when the sale
Yeah.
went through was producing about that amount.
is about the scale of production we're talking about.
It's a little bit more than Bear Island right now, I think, right?
Uh,
Somewhere in there.
I mean, I don't know what they're, but
Bear Island's maybe a little
But
smaller.
either way,
they've got a much smaller system. But yeah,
yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah, that's why it was like everybody's like, maybe we should just go and ask breweries if they want to sell. Like, because it was like
I want
I-
to buy a brewery.
300,000.
I mean, if you want to move to
300
Chicago,
million,
there's
yeah.
a brewery for sale. I'm pretty sure still on Craigslist.
Oh, there always
Oh
is.
yeah, I remember that episode of you guys. That was great.
And I'm a notorious lowballer. And when I saw Kings and Convict do this, I was like, you guys are my heroes. And the fact that they did it on a golf course, I was like, that just like drives home the rich white guy narrative of craft beer more than anything.
That's beautiful. It's really why we do this. All right, I need a beer after that one. Almanac Beer Company, Moonletters Hazy IPA is our next offering. It's a Hazy India Pale Ale, double dry hopped with Motour and Sultana hops. I got this one mostly because I like the little moon face on it, but you got some black on black. It looks like Elvish text from Lord of the Rings, and it makes my little nerd heart happy. On the can, whatever are moonletters, stand by the beer fridge when the thrush knocks and the last light of summer's setting sun will shine upon a glimmering four-pack. Open a can and prepare to enter a hazy new world inhabited by intense tropical flavors and aromas. Exotic Motour and Sultana hops form a fellowship worthy of song and celebration. Enjoy in mountain layers with elves, dwarves, dragons, and grand adventure. Yeah, it's totally fucking elvish. Those nerds.
Honestly, for that eloquent of like a beer description, the beer should have been better.
Really?
the description was better than the beer.
Legolas would not approve.
So if you've ever listened to It's On Beer, I shit on hazy IPAs a lot.
I'm telling you, it's like
Again,
it's like
it
a
is-
mirror. It's
you
like the
have-
doppelganger.
And
If you have
and the thing
had
is, I'm
one
like watching
hazy-
him write in a notebook, and I do that during our podcast.
If you have had one
We
hazy
really are
IPA,
just like-
you've had them all.
Fucking haze boys, come on.
So I'll go first. I'll give it a 3 because it's not a bad beer, but
It's another hazy.
it's a hazy. It's a basic hazy.
I will ask you guys this question because I've noticed a little bit of an incline, but not much. At least in terms of like because hazy IPAs have become so popular, there hasn't been much evolution to the style in like the last year.
I don't think you can. In my experimentation with the style,
Okay.
it's because
There's only so many hops.
Well, there's only so many hops, but the key component to a hazy IPA is a lot of times adding the hops during aggressive fermentation.
Okay.
And what that does is that brings out the tropical fruit, the orange peel, and that really pillowy mouthfeel that you kind of associate with that style. And as much as it's fun to brew, I don't think you can get like subtle like differences, and actually I'll get into it in a second. I kind of like this because there are some little subtle nuances.
Hints.
But just by the sheer how you make a hazy, you're right. I don't think there is a lot of room for nuance because you're taking like the subtle differences in a hop and you're throwing them into a fermentation.
Such quantity.
Yeah, you're throwing them into the middle of fermentation, which is just a clusterfuck. And that's what you get on the other side. You can throw pretty much whatever hop you want into that machine, and it's going to come out
Around the same.
Yeah, fruity,
Fluffy.
Yeah.
See, my argument is it's not that there's much room for evolution or nuances. I think lately hazies have taken a step backwards, and that's why I talk shit on them, because
and also
sometimes
correct,
they can
yes.
be good, but I think a lot of times a brewery's like, fuck, I don't know what to do with this beer. I want to sell it more. Let's change a hop and just call it hazy.
And
It
add
may
some
not
flake
even be
notes
hazy,
and-
but let's
yeah.
just call it hazy because some motherfucker's gonna buy it because I love hazies. But yeah, exactly what you said, Tom. I've said that on the show. How many times once you've had a hazy, you've had a hazy, you've had a hazy, make it stand out. You fucking can't revision no matter how many times you change your label. I'm sorry.
It's the same beer, but a different fucking label.
But this label, however,
So we should start a podcast together.
I fucking adore this label though, and I adore the Lord of the Rings fucking homage to it. So I'm
How much
gonna
did
give
it cost?
this
Too
was
much.
fucking like $5.50 a can, bro.
For a
This
16
bitch-
ounce.
For a 16 ounce. This bitch wasn't. No, that's on the upside there.
It is. Yes.
So I would give it a 3.25. Probably keep this label and put it on the table.
Harsh.
Well, I mean, don't
I
fucking.
gave it a 3
I know. Well, both of you.
If it weren't
because
for
it
the
was almanac.
if it weren't for the label, I would give it a 3 also. But the Elvish writing and the black on black rounds it up a whole 0.25 for this white boy.
Not as hard as hazy. 3.5.
Oh shit! All
I
right,
just heard you're not as hard.
I'm going to be the outlier then. 4.5.
Oh, so you like it?
Holy
So
crap.
here's what
All right,
Elaborate, sir.
So here's what I dig about it. All right, so after I just went on this tirade about how hazies have that pretty much that straight like tropical fruit, like intensely fruity, sweet, mango, orange peel, et cetera. This one I pick up notes of garlic and a little bit of like herbal, like basil on top of the the tropical fruit and mango and what have you. It's got a sharper flavor, and I appreciate that they've done a hazy, but they've managed to bring out those more savory flavors. And I always that in this style where you just talked about how the style never evolves. This is one of the few things where I'm seeing a little bit of evolution, where you actually got a couple of flavors.
I really like that synopsis, sir. I wonder if this would go really, really well with like a flatbread pizza.
I can see that.
Just because that little subtle basil note that you made.
Yeah,
I can see the basil. I'm not getting the garlic, and unless you're using Summit, wouldn't that be considered an off flavor?
if it's getting to be sulfury, yes, but a lot of these hops do have. Summit does. I don't know about the hops. There's at least one hop that I'm not familiar with on there.
Monterre and
That one.
Sultana.
I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with either of those, so it wouldn't. I mean, so actually, I just brewed a beer with a hop whose flavors include, and this comes from YCH. I'll let you know how the experiment turns out when I get there. Include notes of coconut and bourbon barrel.
So funny you bring that up. I was talking to Jerry, the owner of Mad Swede, at an event a while back. I want to say it was the Botanical Gardens Fall Harvest Festival last year. And we were talking, and he had went to it was either GABF or World Beer Cup. he was talking to a hop booth, and there was a hop in there that gave the flavor of bourbon barrel aging, and he tried the beer they had brewed with it and was like, "This tastes just like it came out of
Could
a
be-
bourbon barrel."
Could
And
be the same
he's
hop.
like,
This could be the hop.
he
Yeah.
had his son try it and his other sales rep try it. They were all like, "Yeah, this tastes like a bourbon barrel." He's like, "This is crazy that a hop can do that without actually having to put it in a barrel and that upfront capital investment and then the risk of it souring in the barrel."
I mean, long story short, that it doesn't surprise me that they can pull that kind of flavor from a hop.
Cool. I hate to kind of interrupt. I know that we're on pretty much a really good tear. Did everybody rate the beer real quick? You said 4.5.
I said
Yeah, we all
4.5.
rated it.
Awesome.
I think
Great.
I think it's a exceptional. Not only is it a good example
Well,
of a
you're
hazy.
fucking wrong. You used to drink arrogant bastards.
Yeah, well, you know what? I can be wrong about a lot of things. No, I think it's an exceptional a version of a hazy, but it's got a little bit more. So 4.5, maybe even a 5.
Awesome.
So
With that being said, I think we're actually going to take a real quick of a break because
All
these
right.
two guys are giving themselves a stare down. We're gonna have them fight in the backyard, and yeah,
Just take
we'll
a broad knife.
It's about time.
Look for that
Tyler, I've
video.
wanted a piece of you since we started a podcast.
All
All
you
right.
had to do was ask, baby.
so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
If anything, just to get here. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Fair,
calm
fair.
down.
I got like one beer.
I got pee, so-
His
Dude,
wife's already,
Dude,
sir.
I didn't interrupt the
So-
show though. I just went.
Pause. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Everyone needs air. Well, I just threw the script away halfway through. I was like, fuck it. There ain't no stop or pause or whatever those are. YouTube's still going.
Yeah.
I'm sure my phone's about to die. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where it's at right now.
We're at like an hour and 10, so we got a little time for the one last beer and maybe one more good story. And
Yeah. I mean, it's super cool and awesome, but
yeah, it's fun class.
it's a lot of dick in here. It's been a lot of fun.
I'm enjoying the shit out
Yeah,
of this.
this is fun.
You guys are super relaxed. A lot of people are like super tense.
I was gonna say, I think it's because we've kind of done this.
We have
before,
say
so-
this is the setting is a little bit more professional, but other than that,
Dude,
Christina found the joy of edibles recently.
oh,
these are great.
Carrie's been missing those.
I bet.
That's all my girlfriend does.
My wife's got super bad ADHD and anxiety to pair with it.
Oh, perfect.
So her mind's just constantly racing.
FYI, we're still live on YouTube. Oh,
All right, good to know.
okay. Sorry. I don't know. They didn't tell you apparently.
In case you're about to say something really
Yeah.
that.
So she's been digging them.
Okay.
So-
We make it live for YouTube just for the fuck's sake of it, you know. Like some people actually stay and like sometimes we're like it's just like Will and I talking or me and Jerry talking. Now you're about to take a piss. So FYI.
Okay. Well, in that case, all right, YouTube. There's some shit I want to get off my chest.
Stand up on that soapbox.
So let me tell you who really runs Hollywood. Off.
The next guy's gonna show up and off you, man.
Oh, I was on that flight. I don't know how I afford it. But yeah, Audacity was very well. You use like I use Levelator, the app that evens out all the like higher.
So I was I started recording using Audio Hijack, and I've loved the shit out of it.
Well, we're still live on YouTube. by the way.
It's
Yeah, we found that early.
especially I picked up when we started doing remote episodes, and it's worked beautifully.
Are you talking mics?
Talking recording apps.
Okay.
Although they're editing.
Because he got a great
Yeah,
software for
I'm
the
just-
Mac.
I was telling them. Yeah, it's a Mac software, but it works exceptionally well. Their editing program is shit. But
Quick time or what?
Audio Hijack.
Oh yeah. I know. I still use the Audition.
Yeah, but I've looked into that. I haven't.
What the
Audacity works near enough for what I need, which is basically to go. Okay, let's cut out this
These
lot.
pauses.
Yeah, these pauses. We're gonna. All right, let's put it up.
Yeah.
It's midnight and I'm drunk.
Yeah, Vic paid for this, and he let me scrub on a copy, and I'll probably end up buying the rest of the suite. And so then we'll
You
just
can
share
have
that.
mine. I use my girlfriend, so you can have the whole thing. I'd be on
Oh,
my
really?
computer and
Oh, dude, we need to
Photoshop
talk.
that shit.
We need to talk
My
later.
computer's not strong enough to use any of it.
Oh, we will need to talk then, because and I'll pay for half. Because that'll
Oh,
save
you're
you
fine.
money,
All
save
right,
me
yeah,
money.
You're fine.
This software or drug deal?
Software.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
It's
A little bit of
it's
sugar
it's
don't
your
hurt
it's your
none.
Depending on the situation,
it's
they're
your.
not mutually exclusive.
I was gonna say, Jerry, this is your kind of crack.
I have never done crack.
I never said you did. I just said this is what you would be really
Don't do
good.
crack, do coke.
Yeah, I was going to
Less
say
jail
your
sentence.
reference would be this is your sort of coke.
Okay.
Oh, we're not. Oh, fuck.
We're on YouTube.
Never done that.
We're always on YouTube. All right.
Drugs are bad, okay?
He's done a little bit.
What is
If I lean way back here, I'm not on YouTube anymore.
Oh,
I am the anonymous voice.
Sometimes
Wait,
I really forget. Fuck.
What,
Weird.
what else do we want to talk about? We got one more beer.
Well,
and
we
then
brought,
like one more story.
we brought a
Probably.
couple. Huh?
Oh yeah.
So we brought a couple of news stories if you want to get into them, but
Absolutely.
We could.
At least
we-
I
That
don't know.
doesn't matter. I just like having that direction.
we can go long on this episode because it is a mashup, and who cares?
Oh, no, I'm not going.
you know,
there.
but
I'm
yeah.
not 30. You know, like
Because you had something you wanted to.
I
You
was gonna say, if we need something, I had New Belgium charging $100 for a 6-pack of Fat Tire.
and I've got Canadian Brewery using the Maui word for pubic hair for their beer.
I like both of those stories. Let's feature them both.
Alrighty then. We'll just.
Those are both fun, and yeah, we're not recording on Acid right now.
Okay.
Are you guys on like hiatus or something? You guys have been gone
So
for
we
like a month.
so we typically take summers off just to because
Working as a beer rep, my summers normally are just stupid busy.
I get that.
And I mean, this year offsetting, but
it's also nice
the
that
news kind of slows down on brewery side of things because all breweries are just slammed with shit.
Yeah.
and I also just find that just doing a podcast, it's just nice to take that time.
Mhm.
And summers are just the perfect time to go. We're gonna go spend 3 months doing anything else. We're not gonna and we come back in September just recharged and ready to do this because it's much fun as podcast is every week. It does kind of like, oh God,
Podcast.
I gotta fucking find news stories, and we got all right.
Never experienced that.
Yeah.
And so besides just being busy, just the recharge period is just nice. So we just we usually take a little break. Well, we take a long break during the summer. We take a little break during the holidays just to not stress ourselves out
And then
because no one's paying for this shit. Fuck you.
We're working our way up.
We'll
We're
usually
working
try
our way
to
up.
do like a big fun episode where we like reminisce down memory lane as
Yeah.
like our last episode of the summer.
Hey, Jer, before you do the top one, do the bottom one, and I got it up on the TV for you.
Which this year's gonna be fun because I think we're gonna reconvene around the 1st of September. We're gonna do about 3 or 4 episodes, and then I'm gonna fuck off because I got a baby.
Or we're remote episoding.
Or something. I'm not sure how
Well,
the first few episodes in October are really up in the air. I'm not gonna lie to you.
all right. Well, like I said, you got
Maybe-
you got 4 guys. I think
Maybe
that'd be
maybe
willing
Tyler
to-
just comes here and
to
does It's
sit
All
in.
Beer with you cats.
Hey, fair.
Be like, Jeremy's doing something or other with an infant.
Yeah, right.
It's
Some
his
fucking
it's,
baby or
it's
something.
his. It's fine.
One of
Yeah,
the two
pretty
are
creative.
It's allegedly his.
So maybe he just comes
We
and
know
does.
it's his wife's. But
either the baby or Jeremy is crying at this exact moment. One of the two
One
is
of the
happening.
two.
Oh,
probably both.
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 Why won't it stop?
Yeah.
I'm pissed off too.
Yeah. I've been there with my
4 days,
my
you little
son.
Shit.
That will be that kid because I didn't sleep till I was 2.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I've got some major shit to make
Your
up for.
parents are just like, hey, you're
Hey,
too mother.
My mom is so happy right now.
Dude, my grandmother, every time she says hello, she always finishes the call with, well, payback's a bitch. Have fun. I love you. Bye.
It's gonna be how my mother's at every conversation.
All right, let's take a
Be back.
So
Rock
wait,
his
what?
popsicle stand.
What do we
We got 2 stories, so he has a story.
So we-
another beer.
Yeah.
Whatever you fuckers want to say and what they want to promote.
So where are we at right now?
No parting
Oh,
gift. We
110,
don't have
not
time.
too bad.
We don't
Not
have
too
time
bad.
for parting
We
gift.
don't want to like
110,
fucking,
not too
you
bad.
know.
Let's try and give him another 10.
Well, we're not doing the rapid fire questions.
Yeah,
I know that much.
15, 20 here.
So unless you have something you want to wrap up,
Yeah.
we just brought a couple of stories just on the off chance you needed some
No,
content.
this would be
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
awesome. That's what we're saying. You guys. go.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've honestly, like, I threw my notes out like earlier because I had prepared for everything as if this was like an interview for Craft Brewers of Boise. So
Oh,
this
well,
has
we-
actually
we-
been a fun.
We could do that later.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that a different day. It's all good, but yeah, we're prepared for it now.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, I will. I'll bring this back.
Go with the beer. Go into the stories.
Yeah,
That more natural progression.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
I can bring us back actually.
All right. You say so?
All right,
Let's rock and roll.
Fuckers ready?
all right. Just count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, everybody. After a very long, hard match outside in the backyard,
He
these two
said
guys are
long
both
and hard.
bloody, but of course I did.
I won, by the way.
Bitch, please.
Do we need to settle this again?
Again.
Let's dance, Romeo.
All right, let's do this shit. Oh,
Okay, we're pausing again.
We'll do a round 2 after.
All right.
I've
No,
got a
we
couple
could.
of judo geese and boxing gloves if you guys really want to get after.
No,
I
think
just need athletic tape and broken glass.
it's time for Foxy boxing now. I got a speedo in the car. Let's do this shit.
I'm gonna need about 250 gallons of KY jelly.
I've only got 20 gallons. Correct.
That'll work.
I am low on stock.
Just up in the ante the whole time.
Oh, I
you
love
got
this.
a kiddie pool?
we could do this all night. And we very well might after we stop recording. But first, we have our last beer of the night. I think maybe at least on the show, sure, because on Untapped it says with last.
To make this room uninhabitable.
It's
good
not so
thing
much-
this is the
he-
last beer.
It's not so much that the lactose that Jerry doesn't agree with the lactose. It's more that the lactose doesn't agree with Jerry.
That's true. I
So-
enjoy it, but
It doesn't. I get the.
It's never appeared in the room.
it
We'll
doesn't
put it
say
that way.
lactose on the can, so I'm gonna hope that's the case.
And what do we do?
Well,
in
because you're
on the show?
Nola
Oh,
Brewing.
yeah, you're wrong. Brewery,
This
my
is
man.
Prairie Artisan Ale.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
you
it
got the
is.
wrong, and this is a much.
Nola.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to go
It
alcohol
says
in New Orleans.
brewed and canned by Krebs Brewing Company,
Yeah.
McAllister, Oklahoma. So that's
Well,
Interesting.
somebody on Untapped messed up, but what do we always do? We trust the
we
can.
trust the can. So
Wikipedia for beer, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
how do you guys feel about sours in general?
I'm all for them.
I mean, like about any beer style, they can be done well and they can be done poorly, but I'm generally a fan.
I've only had like one or two baby vomit ones. So
I've had a couple baby
Really?
vomit ones.
Because to me, I would equate sours beers to horror movies, to where it should be good, and when they're good, boy, are they some of the best things you'd ever watch. But to one good sour, there are 10 fucking just shit ones. And same for horror movies, where sometimes they just don't live up to the hype, man. And it tends to be too much Brettanomyces.
Britannomyces.
There we go. I can never say that word. Or too much lactose, or not enough alcohol, too much alcohol, too futile, too whatever it may be.
Or they brand themselves as an 8% sour
Go back to
slushy beer and come in at 2.5%.
Oh, are you talking
go
about?
back
that's
go back through
definitely
the
not a 4 or
through
5
our
reference, is it?
catalog to read that story. That was what that's a brewery in Indiana.
Yeah.
405 Brewing?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking there's a number involved there, but
Yeah, there's so much wax in their beer, you can never get a fucking clean glass out of them. But anyways.
So we found it on Untapped.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, good for me. This
He's
has
got it on his phone, I think.
it has 2000. Oh, we found it on the big screen. Up one. Up one.
also there's a lot of pineapple upside down cake beers out there.
Blows my mind. Especially, I'm surprised these guys aren't fucking Highlandering each other.
I thought
Well, that's what happens when you have a huge nation of swingers. They all communicate through pineapple, so beer industry just takes advantage.
They have like pineapple phones, like on Gilligan's Island.
yeah, all beer people are swingers. Have you not gotten into? You've only been in for about 10 years. You'll figure it
We're
out.
not- oh my God.
So I guess our plans
This
after this are
podcast
just got
is-
submarine. Tyler will head.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we got invited to a journey that
still
I might
open,
not
man.
be ready
I'm
for.
still
But
open, man.
All right,
okay.
all right.
What's the rule here?
Just one finger or two fingers? Has it?
Let's start. Let's
All right.
let's first off,
That's
let's
fair.
only 2 rules on this podcast. Start slowly. We won't yuck your yum.
Third is not necessarily a rule, but just a general guideline. Be gentle.
Just ask. just a little bit of consent. Just enough.
Surprise!
On Untapped, this beer is coming in with 3,044 check-ins and 2,614 ratings, and has an average rating of 3.66. And the little description says it's an ale brewed with pineapple, lactose, and pecans. So it does, in fact, have lactose, according to the Wikipedia of beer stuff.
I'm not picking up any lactose.
It's not terribly sweet.
And
I'll
actually,
grant it that.
I can typically I can literally see lactose in beer at this point. There's none in this.
Well, like we always said, trust the can.
No, I don't think there's any in this.
Although, I mean, apparently yellow cake, which I'm a little concerned about that.
it's yellow cake uranium.
I thought it was Uranus.
What do you guys think? Do you taste the pineapple? Because our sipper, the one we're all enjoying, is my beer of the summer, the Cascade Lakes Brewing Company Pineapple Kush IPA. I enjoy the shit out of it. Jeremy, you said you don't taste much pineapple in
Not
this.
as much.
I taste more pineapple in this than I do in this sour.
No, opposite. I actually taste quite a bit.
Really?
I get quite a bit of pineapple in this, to the point where I get almost nothing else. It's a pineapple sour.
See, I get
Correct.
I get like a raw pineapple to it, but maybe it's just not a fun pineapple.
So I'm going to stand on soapbox here for a little
Okay,
bit.
here we go.
All right,
Ready, back up.
buddy, relax.
But so I've had a ton of pineapple beers before. I do get a little more pineapple on this than I do the pineapple
Fine, I'm
Kush.
fucking wrong. I'm sorry.
But my big knock with pineapple in beer is pineapple is such a subtle flavor, especially when done in beers, that you never get enough pineapple. When something is branded as a fucking pineapple beer, I want the pineapple to bitch slap you in the face and Dole go, how did you get that pineapple flavor? Please tell us.
You can enjoy this and many other just bizarre opinions at It's All Beer.
Off soapbox.
If I can counter that with anything, I would say that the flavor of the year, or at least the summer for 2020, has been mango. Like we could have easily featured a different mango flavored beer every single week on the podcast for about a month and a half straight. So at least 6 of them,
Fair.
at least one an episode. And
I feel
I just see more and more and more mango.
I feel pineapple was 2015 that summer. I mean, 10 Barrel had pineapple. I know a couple other breweries around town.
Odell had their like pineapple sour as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was the 2015, 2016 pineapple.
Pineapple.
The-
There was more
Cascade
pineapples
Lakes
in a
pineapple
than in a
Kush
swingers
probably disappeared.
shopping cart.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that reference or not, but again,
Well, no.
you will.
Yeah.
So, do you guys get any of the pecans, cherry, or
Not
yellow
a
cake?
bit. So I mean, if you just handed this to me and said, "What do you think this is?" I'm like, "Oh, it's
Pineapple.
A
sour.
crisp
Pineapple
pineapple
sour.
sour.
it's quite nice.
Mhm.
It's not terribly dynamic. It's not terribly complicated. It's a nice. I'm not sure if it's a true sour or a kettle sour. I want to say
Probably
kettle. But I mean, it's
because there's no lactose.
with everything they
Don't
think.
add lactose to a true sour.
Yeah, with everything they say they put in there, I'm not picking up anything other than pineapple. It's a nice, refreshing pineapple sour, but that's
Perfect on a hot day.
But I mean, nothing that.
With your true sours, normally you'll have lower lactic acid in there. So less chance of getting that baby vomit flavor. But
And a little bit, probably more of the like. You'll get some funk.
What does baby vomit taste like?
Oh, like you don't know.
I was gonna say you have a child.
Have a child.
You should know.
Oh, I totally know. I'm asking if you
As a
can.
beer
Well,
reference.
so what it actually is butyric acid that you're
Okay,
tasting
yeah.
there, and in small amounts it actually comes across as jasmine. Is the
Interesting.
but in large amounts, yeah, baby vomit.
So
All right.
if a true sour doesn't have lactose, why do so many fucking sours have lactose in them?
Because
If you
same
have
reason
a-
why right now milkshake IPAs are the hot ticket item.
Word.
Mm.
I think they just went out.
Yeah, but
Fucking hopefully.
They just maybe.
I think we're done with them.
didn't
milkshake
close the
sours
door, but
predate that.
They've gone the way of the black IPA.
Oh yeah.
And
A
Sad.
little racist, but okay.
And
Sorry, Cascadian Dark Ale.
I thought you were going to say the African American IPA.
No, I was going to use the pretentious Portland slang for it.
the CDA.
The CD, which I've always hated because that's such. It's like, well, we created it. Fuck, just say black IPA.
But a black IPA is an oxymoron because IPA stands for India Pale Ale.
But
How can you be
You know what it
black in
means.
color and pale in color at the same fucking time?
I've
It's
met
getting
black
racial in this piece. I feel.
I met a black albino and a black ginger.
I say, have you heard?
We're
of
not
Eminem?
talking about Blake Griffin here.
I was gonna say,
Well-
have you heard of Eminem?
I rest my case then.
So let's rate this beer. What was the untapped rating?
It was like 3.8 something. 3. Yeah.
3.66.
Thank you,
that's
Tyler.
fucking absurd, man. I would give this a 2.5.
Damn, kid.
Okay.
I don't like sours as a whole.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
not
so
really
you're-
my thing.
My big knock on
Oh.
Untapped
All right, hold on. Here we go. Back to the soapbox again. Here we go.
is when people rate things on Untapped and in the comment go, I don't like this style. And so you know they checked it in just to get the check in. when I'm like, don't rate it if you know you don't like the style.
Here's my argument to that, and why I rate it, and why I will comment shit like that
We're gonna have
is
a new
because
fight.
they're well, one, there are sours that I like out there. There aren't many, but they are. As a whole, I'm not a big fan of sours. This one, it's sour, but it's not tart. We can taste the pineapple. We taste nothing else that it presents itself to be. In no way does it represent anything cakey or pecan-y or cherry-ish. And I rate them for me because my Untapped list is well over 1,000 beers. And at this point, I've done a fair amount of illicit drugs that maybe I shouldn't have, and also a fair amount of concussions. So it's hard for me to remember this shit. So I'll rate it because I'll be like, Jerry, sometimes you like sours, but remember, not this one, buddy. Just fucking put it back on the shelf and walk away.
Okay. I can respect that.
You could have just said you had a hard time remembering, Val.
What's the fun in that?
All right. I actually really like this. I mean, typically on Brewnomics, we don't brand ourselves as, experts. Like, I mean, maybe we'll get there one day, but right now we're just super enthusiasts. And
It's like a regular enthusiast, but typically we wear capes.
I was going
We
to comment.
say-
Those are nice capes.
we're super enthusiasts.
Wish you would wear something else besides a cape, but but the capes are very nice.
They're very
Put 'em on the other side of the neck.
robing and flowing.
But it is warm in here. I get it.
That being said, I really do feel like this beer, it is kind of what it purports itself to be. If I was to pick this up off the shelf and say, "Oh, a pineapple upside down cake," and it's a sour, what am I expecting? A pineapple sour, and that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to give this a 3.75.
Bro, it's a can of shitty raw pineapple juice with a shot of plastic bottle
are you-
tequila.
Are you
inside
yucking?
of
Are you
it.
yucking my yum?
No, just
Don't
saying,
yucky my yum.
I'm sorry.
You can say I'm wrong, but that's your opinion, and I have my own opinion.
That's what it
and,
tastes like to me.
Okay, that's fine. And
Jeremy,
you have to respect
Let's
my
avoid
opinion.
this domestic dispute here. And what's your rating?
Good transition, Tyler. Good transition.
So it was originally a 4, but I've got to admit, like what was brought up, the fact that they did bill it as like with the pecans and the cherry and the yellow cake. I'm not, if I'm shopping for this beer and I look at the can, I don't feel like I'm getting what is on the can.
Oh,
And so in that kind of spirit, 3.5.
all right.
Right along the same lines as you, 3.5.
You
My
guys are so much nicer.
my one knock on it is, I don't get any of the pecans.
All right, there's very
Sure.
nice. It's
Yeah.
very nice beer.
It is a crushable sour. I will shove it down my gullet on a hot day and piss it out.
My only problem is that it's not kind of as advertised. I don't get any of the things they describe on the can, and
If they branded as just a pineapple sour,
now that
it would have been probably 4.5.
that being said, if they branded this what it is and not what they say it is, I would probably like the beer. I'd be more likely to buy the beer because I like the beer. If it makes any sense. I like the beer as it is better than I think I would like it as they say it is.
Sure. Well, and I can totally agree with that. And there are a lot of
And
times.
that's something that we use on this podcast is what does the beer purport itself to be?
Is it that? Is it good? Yes. Is it what it says on the can or the bottle? No. Then I'm going to have more of an issue with that.
Yeah.
Because
If marketing
want you
took
to-
liberties, we're going to dock those liberties. Sorry.
100%.
That's fair.
100%. But I mean, all in all, it's fine for a sour at 4.9. At that point, I will drink any other fucking 5% beverage.
Yeah,
other than
this is
one.
definitely a one-off for me. I'm not looking.
And no matter the sour, rather it's a true sour, a kettle sour, fucking has lactose, doesn't have lactose, has the
Tannomyces.
Thank you. It's just, to me, I can't drink multiples of them because one, they stain the shit out of your palate, and it's hard to taste anything else after that. And it upsets my poor little tummy.
It does. I know it does, bro. I've been with you since high school. Your little tummy.
A little tender tummy.
I like this sour. It doesn't purport to what it says it would be, but I think it's very tasty overall. I'm kind of Sour Patch Kid here in the Brewnomics boy band.
Yeah.
Big ups.
You know, I'm Nick Lachey. I don't know.
You're way more handsome than him.
Thank you. I really like Wilder, and I give it a 4.0.
I'd call you a CJT because you're a Cambodian Justin Timberlake.
Oh, thank you.
But more successful.
No, probably.
Does
not.
JT have a beer podcast? Don't
No.
think so.
All right. Game, set, match.
JT,
Touche.
if you want to come on this show, we are more than willing to have you.
God, fuck that guy so hard. Yeah, I'd let him.
I was gonna say you'd let him.
Okay.
You can't see it, but Jerry had to lean back in his chair. He was laughing so hard.
Well, before we're entirely off the rails, let's kind of wrap this bitch up.
Oh yeah.
So-
Did we want to talk about the other 2 news things real quick?
Oh
We
shit!
did,
Sure.
so we did bring a couple of news stories if you were
Yeah.
so inclined.
We
Why
gotta
not?
pander to their audience a little bit.
We are getting towards the end of your time, but we will.
Let's do it. Let's have some
We shall
fun
do this. Tyler,
with
do you want
it.
to start or shall I?
Make it a 2-part.
Oh,
Break.
you know what? I'll start.
Okay, go for it.
So let me paint a scene. You're in your local bottle shop, grocery store, liquor store, wherever the fuck you buy your 6-pack of beer. You're perusing the aisle in your mask because you're a responsible citizen. Thank you.
There's only one responsible citizen here.
And if you say, mask infringe on my freedoms, fuck you. The only infringement on freedoms is not being able to walk down the street with an open fucking beer. Pick your battles.
This and many other opinions you will hear on It's All Beer. You can catch us back in September.
Maybe.
But you're strolling down the aisles. You're like, ooh, you know what sounds kind of good? I'm feeling a little old school. I'm going to go with a New Belgium Fat Tire. Until you look down at the price and see $100 for the 6-pack.
Say what?
$100 for New Belgium's Fat Tire Amber Ale.
Okay, no, that's a pricing error. That's wrong.
Incorrect. New Belgium did this as a little marketing promotion in several markets for International Beer Day.
They're screwing you on Beer Day too?
No! When it actually rang up, it rang up for the normal price, but it was a marketing thing to promote that they are now, New Belgium is the first Fat Tire is the first nationally distributed craft beer to be carbon neutral.
And they celebrated this by trying to fake people out into thinking that their beer was
Because
$100 a 6-pack.
They did it because from their projections by 2070, if climate change does not go unaltered, that is going to be the cost of a craft beer 6-pack because of the ag impacts on climate change. They've, in the article from Outside Online, they break it down. They talk about it. They've already had where their orange for some of their beers that they do has went through the roof. The cost for about 100,000 cases cost the same as what 1 million cases of oranges used to. They've already had lost hop contracts because of hail destroying hop crops. And so when you start thinking about it that way, beer, especially craft beer, because it has 5 times the amount of grain that a domestic beer has in it, is tied super closely to the ag industry. So if climate change does happen and crops start dying off, that affects the barley to get the alcohol, which is, let's be honest, all of our favorite part of beer.
We wouldn't be here if we weren't half in the bag.
Hops, which is another huge component to the American craft beer scene. I mean, you can break it down. Belgians are known for their yeast, Germans for their crisp malts, Americans for the hops. So with that,
You all love your hazies. They're about to get real expensive.
I also heard the same applies to agave because the tequila industry.
I don't touch tequila. That's the devil's juice. So
Well,
I've heard that
like
this is
We're
true.
tight. But tequila and a
Brother.
lot of wines have been grossly impacted by this as well. And you fuck with my tequila, she's going to
about to
open
get
up
real.
a can of whoop ass.
But-
Better open up a counter whoop ass on climate change.
I would love to.
So
but I
that
think-
And that'd be
is-
what we name our episode.
that is what New Belgium wanted to have happen, is the sticker shock of seeing $100 for a 6-pack to try to get people
Okay.
to go, okay,
They still sold out.
what can we do? Yes, they did.
They did. You can find that story on It's All Beer.
What can we do to help people make a better choice about climate change?
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I think if anything, I was super quiet, and I know Jared probably shared my sentiments. Just super quiet because that's a scary world, man.
Yeah,
that is a scary world. $100 a beer. I mean, inflation and everything else. Like, you imagine, okay, but I mean, still, that's probably what, like $30?
I bitch about a $7 pint. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I bet you about a $14 6-pack from Ballast Point.
Agreed.
So-
We did have that whole.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
future in advance. That's still like a $30 6-pack. Relatively speaking.
Well, at that point, what's a carton of eggs going to cost? Or because you got to use the grain to feed the chickens or what's
To get
a
the-
T-bone steak going to cost at the grocery store?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You're not even going to be able to buy it. It's going to be an
Is
absolute
the
luxury
normal man
item.
going to be able to eat? Or is
Nope.
it going to be back in the medieval times where the king gorged himself and everyone else was starving to death?
I feel like Jeff Bezos is really tasty.
Yeah.
I'd give it a try.
I know what you're saying there without saying it. I get that, and I
The
kind of agree.
ultimate ironic thing would be to order the guillotine off of Amazon.
As well as the
And you'd have to because you need it in a couple days.
Yeah.
as well as the smoker. And
What's
the
the one-day
roasting.
shipping on this?
And on Prime. In next day. Barbecue some humans.
Some rich humans.
Cool.
What starts out as rich
Eat
humans.
the
I've-
rich.
Had to be butt
I've
cheeks.
seen I've read about the French Revolution. It gets kind of fucked up, but
So before you start your story, we're going to drink another beer because you guys decided to drag us on. So
All right, we might split this episode. I might end up doing some.
it's going to be
some,
a two-parter.
some folly work over the top of this, but that'll be all right.
But hey, here we are. Hi, Daisy. Come on in.
Daisy's our little studio
like-
pup.
You
She's
got
like-
told to fuck off.
She's like, nope, it is 1,000,000 degrees in there.
There are 5 decks.
She took one smell of that room and she's like, nope.
You guys are gross.
that's fair.
You guys are fucking gross.
You do realize my nose is way better than yours, and you were disgusting.
I can break down every particulate and bro, wash your balls.
This is gonna make for a really interesting
Those were
intro.
Daisy's words. 9.
Is a really interesting intro to our second part of the episode. You got to realize we're already 5 beers deep at this point. So
I don't know, bro. I can't carry the 2.
okay.
So we're gonna drink another beer, and then Jeremy's gonna lead us out with a story.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
That
you
works.
know, since we're here, and we're here, let's just go with that. This is from
Pelican Brewing.
Pelican Brewing. Seeing red, I assume. It's a red.
Yeah.
Well,
this,
it's better Pelican than Pelican.
Amen. There we go.
Pelican Brewing is over off the Oregon coast over in Cannon Beach. I got this from Growler Guys. They specifically had to order it from them. You cannot find this, I don't think, anymore. I don't even think that it's on tap anymore at Growler Guys. But $10. And when I had it, I was like, oh, I'm a sucker for reds.
Well, and Pelican Brewery is one of those places that can do no wrong, as far as I'm. my
They're
experience.
I agree. They're an absolutely great brewing. And at Brewnomics, we love a red. And Jeremy, you have a connection with us based on reds. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You did not know that. About a year.
Oh,
and
right.
a
No,
month
yes.
ago.
Okay, yes,
Hey,
yes.
there it
It
is.
took. I'm 5 beers deep. So
For Will's birthday, we brewed Brewnomics Red. We had a big naming contest on it. Shouts to Ben for winning Windy Tits Red.
Yep.
But-
That's what the vote was. I ended up going with Run Over Red or something like that
Yes.
for my story, but it still will be known forever as Windy Tits.
And Jeremy was a massive, massive help to that with a lot of the education on how to start the brewing process.
You
and
poor souls.
No, it was great. I mean, obviously, we wanted him on our podcast at that point. It took a while. We finally got him there. So
and I brought you. So you're riding my coattails. Bitch.
Hey, look at that! Look at that!
I'll ride more than your coattails.
We're gonna ride
Later,
that
Tyler.
ass.
Am I supposed to say something about a pineapple now?
So
That's why we invite more people in.
it makes
Okay.
it taste
What you
better.
doing?
Meet you up at Hidden Springs.
So this is it. The Seeing Red. Again, I fucking love reds. And I know it's a slightly darker amber. Whatever. I still enjoy them. This is good beer.
Oh,
What's
quite
the
nice.
what's the ABV on this? Pretty low, huh?
5.4.
Not too bad.
Sorry, 5.4.
Not too bad. Pretty good, actually. I like it. And nice. I'd much rather finish
Quite
the
nice.
night on this than that fucking pineapple sour. I tell you that much.
Oh, this is
It's good. I could drink this bitch all day.
Irish Reds are my favorite beer.
Super. I mean, not super malty, but you don't taste like any hoppiness, any bitterness. It seems like the maltiness that a red should
Super
have.
balanced. It's great.
Yeah, I'd put my dick in it. I'd let it put a stick in me.
If we lived in Oregon, you would
All
tap
right,
it.
so
In
now
the-
I'm feeling uncomfortable. Tyler, you?
In the winter, I'd freeze it and skate on it.
I
and
feel like
spring it, melt it,
they're
and
having
drink it.
sex with their
Yeah.
beers, which makes me worried about what they're actually giving
Have
us.
you not listened to our show?
And have you not fucked a beer, bro? Come on.
I thought that sour tasted a little salty.
Awkward
He
silence.
normally
Pick up-
opens a can, but that one came straight from his
Pick up-
dick. I don't get it.
Pick up hints of like salt and Clorox and
Is that is that smegma?
shame.
There's a hair in mine.
That's how it comes.
It's for extra flavor.
St. Rogue's
Okay, no
beard
problem.
beer.
Yeah, I've had that. It's pretty good. That's another beer that a lot of people have strangely bought for me. Don't know why.
Can't imagine why.
Can't imagine. Really?
What gets me is the people go, "That's so disgusting." They made it, and I'm like, they cultivated the yeast off the brewer's beard. Do you want to know where yeast normally come from? Because it's way worse. There's a reason the guard is in Tillamook, Oregon, next to all these cow fields.
Oh yeah, and you know the girls. Ew, it's so yeasty. Have you seen your vagina?
Now you know what my life is like. I'm still going there, but just letting you know.
This
Vitamin B12 helps with the hangover.
I love this. I
this
love.
episode might be the first Patreon episode we
I know, you fucking need it behind a fucking paywall. But back to the beer.
I
Back,
haven't even taken my top off yet. So,
We'll get started.
to your point earlier, Jeremy. Oh God, that's why I wear a hat.
Oh, that's right. We're on YouTube. We need to.
Pelican is fucking phenomenal. I really like these guys. I would. This is another 4 beer for me. It's a great red. I would happily drink this again and again.
Shoot, we're doing ratings already. Okay,
Oh, so soon.
I'm gonna give this a 4.5.
All right.
I really, really like it. I'm a sucker for it. It's caramely and not too sweet, and I would drink this all day.
Do you guys say caramel or caramel?
caramel.
Caramel.
God damn.
Unless I'm talking about the place in Indiana, then it's caramel.
A is
Exactly,
not
because
silent. The A
born
is-
in Indiana.
You probably say Jeff instead of Giff.
Do you call
don't
it-
you?
No, I call it GIF.
Yeah.
Do you call it Moscow or Moscow in Idaho?
Moscow?
Moscow's in Russia, so don't
But
be
it's
a
not
fucking
an
imbecile.
It's not an MOSACOW. There's an extra goddamn vowel in there, and you respect that fucking vowel.
Idaho people know the.
You're looking at me
difference.
knowingly, so I'm gonna say 5. I don't.
There it is.
All the
I-
above.
I know for that you know that you're stingy with 5 star ratings, but here's the thing: when you're talking about an amber ale, you're talking about a style that's not
It's a red, not an amber. There's a difference.
Is
red.
there?
It's an American amber ale,
Is there?
and I don't know how you improve upon this. It's really, really nice. It's got the right amount of caramel, but it's got the right amount of like roast right at the end. It's got a nice dry finish that invites another drink. I mean, present me with a better amber ale if you can, but
The one you helped us brew.
well, yeah, that was all right. Fine, this is 4.75 then, because clearly the one I made is superior.
I think he'll accept that answer.
Nice ego there, Jeremy.
Tyler,
So humble.
did you rate it? I'm sorry.
I have not rated it yet. And normally, because I'm not a huge red fan, I would not rate it. But I will break that rule for here. Give
You
it a
better.
3. I think for the style, it's right where it needs to be. It's just personally for my style or for my palate, I'm not a huge red fan. So
But you said you'd break that rule. So what is it?
I said 3.
You said 3. Okay. Well, it's a good thing your opinion doesn't matter. We're going to count this as a Brewnomics recommended beer
That
anyway.
opinion does not represent the views of
Oh,
Brewnomics and Brewnomics Ideal.
I'm just giving him crap
I
at this
think
point, but
all opinions matter, but also opinions can be wrong.
yeah. But yeah, that's gosh.
All right.
Other than yours, yeah, everybody almost recommends this. So that's pretty good.
Way to fuck up the flow, Tyler.
That's what I'm here for.
And that's what
That's a combo breaker. is
that's
we
what
call
he
that.
does. So shall
I'm
we?
the cooler.
Let's finish it
So
up on
moving
a
on to Jeremy's topic.
sweet ass industry story or whatever.
So I'm just going to read the headline here. It's from BBC News. Canada brewery apologizes.
Wait, which BBC News?
Just says it's just BBC.com.
Is
Is it Canada or is it England?
or is it?
It's just BBC.com.
Or is it Big Black Cocks?
It's definitely that one.
Okay.
Canada brewery apologizes for beer named Pubic Hair in Maori.
Okay.
So
Where is Maori?
It's next to Samoa.
it's a so the Maori people are the native New Zealand's. They are Polynesian and
they have the badass like haka dance or whatever.
yes, I think so. And they have a word hura hura, which, and I'm also probably horribly mispronouncing that. If you speak Maori or actually are Maori, I'm probably mispronouncing that too. A
He
feature of
apologizes.
a feature of
the
it's
views of him and his butchering of pronunciation do not reflect the views of It's All Beer.
or
Plus the
Brewnomics.
size of the average Maori is. We're so sorry.
Yeah.
We're so sorry.
So anyway,
Jeremy lives at.
Wow.
Hell's Basement Brewery in Alberta, Canada, released its Haru Haru Pale Ale, probably as a nod to the New Zealand hops they use in there. I don't know. That's just what makes sense to me. But
Translated, it means
well, they thought it meant feather, which
I could.
Which
It's a
so
type of feather, maybe.
so
do you mean
so
do you mean,
it,
do you mean the feeling of a light feather on your inner thigh?
So-
Because that's about sums it up.
the article kind of details that strictly in Maori, hura hura means feather or like fur, but when they say
Fur.
it,
Like a merkin.
like 9 times out of 10 they mean pubic hair. So take that as you will. I'm trying to think of an English equivalent, but bush.
Merkin. I like that
Mer-
one.
yeah, merkin is a. But
Looking at you, Firestone Walker.
we've got the velvet merkin, and they have not apologized yet.
I don't think I ever made that connection until now.
Again, we call Paula's pubes the Cambodian velvet strip.
The pale. So
Hurrah, hurrah.
this was pointed. This point was pointed out by a Maori television personality. And here we go again. Me mispronouncing things. T. Haruma Nikora pointed out this along with a leather company in Argentina that they were misusing this. Well, that the word they were using meant pubic hair as part of a campaign to, hey, stop fucking with our language.
That's
Makes sense.
amazing.
The Canadian brewery immediately rebranded the pale, basically saying, we're sorry, we didn't quite we typed it into Google Translate. What do you want from us? But I mean,
Google Translate knows everything.
it's funny, but the point that that Nikora was trying to make was about cultural appropriation. And that is, you people are using your people are using a word from our indigenous culture, and you clearly don't know what it means because that's what we used to say pubic hair.
Mm-hmm.
And Canada responded with, "What do you mean, your people?"
No,
They probably just said sorry.
I say
Yeah.
it's Canada. They said sorry.
We're
They said
sorry
sorry a
about
lot.
So sorry.
We probably got
Sorry
to
about that.
Like, give this guy a fucking puppers.
Puppers. Yeah.
although
Thank you to Jimmy Horton.
the exact wording from the Canadian brewery was, quote, "We wish to make especially clear that it was not our intent to infringe upon, appropriate, or offend the Maori culture or people in any way. To those who feel disrespected, we apologize." So, sorry.
Sorry. Oh man, that's pretty hilarious. Sometimes people get offended over the silliest shit. It's like
That is one of those things I sort of kind of, I mean, I understand both sides. I mean, in New Zealand, it is a minority culture that is threatened. Not unlike Native American culture here in the United States.
fair.
There's a little bit of a distance because I mean, when you're talking about New Zealand hops, you just type in, you
New
type,
Zealand words.
yeah, you type in, famously Azaka is the name for the Haitian god of agriculture,
Okay.
and one of the biggest hops in hazy IPAs right now. But you're just searching for a word to brand your beer, and maybe you should take just a half a second to
Research it a little further.
or I mean
Kind of like someone we know that made a T-shirt for High Aldi in Spain's color for a Basque
oh my god, I
festival.
forgot
You're
about that.
Fucking kidding me.
Not joking whatsoever.
Wait.
A brewery.
Say this. Start over and say this more
Go
clearly.
ahead, go Tyler.
So-
you got it.
Fucking.
High Aldi.
You realize what my last name is?
Yes.
Basco.
Yeah. So High Aldi is a Basque festival that Boise, one of the biggest Basque populations in the United States.
Yes.
It celebrates the Basque heritage. I'm sure you could weigh in a little more on it.
Meh. We don't.
No,
care
we're
to at
actually the
moment.
second large. We're the only larger Basque population than Boise, Idaho, is
The Basque
Euskadi,
country.
the Basque country.
But we're the Spanish government and
Well, it's kind of a thing. It's very much like Basque and Scottish people kind of go hand in hand because of like the government's kind of, what should you say,
Screwed you over.
cunty would be maybe the word I would use for a lot of ostracation, just because the Basque land is a beautiful land. Great. It produces massive agricultural benefits, both rather it's from sheep herding or literal farming, whatever it may be.
Can you
And
name any other Scottish culture? Than you,
oh,
thing
well,
that they
it's
might
amazing
do?
because the accent even sounds a little Scottish.
Oh, you're right. it does.
Which is kind of weird, but it's a country that's been, or it's not a country. They've been trying to be their country for literally thousands of years. And due to the agricultural benefits that they have for Spain, Spain's kind of like, fuck you. And not only that, the things that they did to the Basque people,
the cultural
for
genocide.
a long time, it's straight up genocide. They were afraid
Yeah.
to admit they were Basque because the fucking Spanish would kill them. So they would just sit there and say they're French.
It'd be
or
like
something
putting
like
the Union Jack on a St. Patty's Day flag.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
He looks at me wearing the
Your
Team
little
Ireland
fucking
my
Emma
Team
Bonner
Ireland-
shirt.
my Team Ireland rugby shirt.
So when we saw that, we were just like, did you not take a moment to Google Basque colors?
It's like calling a fucking like a Scottish person Welsh or something like that. Like
No, it's like calling a Scottish person British.
or British, exactly. They're like calling a fucking Basco a Spaniard. Like, all right, we're gonna go fucking fight, and one of us isn't coming out
and
alive.
then they wondered why the
Like-
T-shirts didn't sell.
Gee, weird.
Who was it
You
that-
went with
that
the
did this
yellow
with
and
the
red
t-shirt?
instead of the green.
You want to tell? Or?
No, we're just gonna let that fade.
We're just
into
gonna
the-
let that.
Yeah,
fade
We're,
to
we're gonna
oblivion.
fade, we're just gonna let that fade. You know who you are, and you know you done fucked up.
God, man.
So we're gonna let that. I think all the parties involved knew pretty quickly they done fucked up, and they paid for the done fucked up. They probably still have the T-shirts, and you could probably still buy them at the right place, which now I'm almost willing to pay for.
Yeah, let's buy Jerry one of those shirts.
Done.
I would love it.
We could probably get you one.
Well, on a side note, I did see that. I think it was DC Brow or someone did a beer honoring the Code Talkers from the Navajo.
The
Nation.
Navajo, yeah.
Yeah.
Whole
From
reason
back-
we won World
World
War
War
II
II.
for the record.
Yeah, the wind
Yep.
talkers. Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
Navajo.
But the beer is called Code Talkers. It has one of the people who served as a code talker on the label. So
Sweet.
great way to actually truly honor someone's culture.
That's, I mean, yes, I mean, and here's why I'm kind of two minds about it. I mean, I want to believe that people as one people can borrow from another people's culture, but maybe
I do find it hilarious you call the beer pubic hair. So
yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, that's a fun thing is that okay. You done called your beer pubic hair in our language. Just you should probably know that.
consult with someone.
It is amazing. So I also grew up in New Mexico, big Navajo culture. I know one word in Navajo.
It's probably a swear word.
No, it's just hello.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yatehe. You want to say
Nice.
hello, Navajo? There you go.
It's a lot of syllables for hello.
It really
nice.
is, isn't it? Yatehe.
That's one extra syllable than you need for hello.
Sounds like the German.
Well, I would say two more because I just go sup.
Fair.
That's a lot more because you just do the head nod.
Well, and especially because you think like you watch a John Wayne movie and it's how.
And that's that's a level of cultural
That's cultural appropriation right there.
I mean, there's where do you draw the line? Well, how is probably it's probably just
past the line.
where
It was the 80s/90s.
am I over the line yet? No, look
It's
behind
like
you.
John Wayne playing Genghis Khan.
That's fine. I'm sure that's fine.
We really shouldn't
It's
talk
never
about,
been more fine. It's totally fine.
We really shouldn't talk about Big Trouble in Little China.
Hey, you shut your goddamn mouth.
Dude, that movie's great, but
I'm sorry, the Asian disagrees with you, Will. You're wrong, Mr.
No, he was saying that I need to shut my mouth because it's great.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That's what I was saying.
All right, therefore it's amazing. As long
It
as
is
one
amazing.
person from that's loosely related to that culture says it's okay.
It's
that-
okay.
he's
Yeah, I
nice.
mean, we're running on the Republican ticket here.
As long as one person who doesn't look like you says it's okay, then it's perfectly fine.
That's the representation we have in the room. It's fine.
Okay, Dan Snyder from the Washington football
So,
team.
so let me ask you: as the one person of color in the room, is like naming your pubic hair? Is that fine? All right. So that Canadian brewery, you don't have to be sorry anymore. It's fine.
It's an I'd be honored to have
It's American, though.
like if someone outside of America, say it was a New Zealand brewery that named a beer after
You look
my
more like the
kids,
Maori than we do.
That's very true.
I think on that note, the next beer or whatever it is that either one of us brews, which I'm putting a lot of pressure on Jeremy because he's probably going to brew
Step your
next
game up.
before we do. He has to officially call it pubic hair.
Like straight up in English.
Yeah,
Call it
in
pubic hair.
English,
just pubic hair.
Just pubic hair. Not even
Yeah.
like couch it in
even-
another language.
Don't even church it up.
Yeah.
No, just
Maybe I'll look up the word pubic hair in Navajo. and
Okay.
get
Look up the
back to
pubic
you.
word. All right, look up the pubic word. The word for pubic hair in Navajo, and then I will call it.
There we
You can
go.
call it that or pubes.
See, pubes is still quite obvious.
SBPEWBS.
Pubes. Pubes.
Pubes.
Well, on that note, tell us where we can find you professionally, personally, your podcast. Give us any shout outs you guys have for the moment.
I like the look of fear on Tyler's face because this is where he usually shuts up, and I go, "This has been It's All Beer." As always, you can find us on Facebook. We're at It's All Beer. You can send us an email, itsallbeer@gmail.com. We are on Twitter. It's at All Beer 1 because someone else got that and they don't use that fucking account. And that pisses me off.
Oh, bro, I get it.
We do some stuff on Instagram. You can find us there. And of course, you can pick up our podcast at iTunes, Stitcher. I think we're on Spotify. Pretty much if you can download a podcast there. I think I've got it on there. But if you have a place you download your podcast that's not there, let me know because I always need to find a place to infiltrate.
Absolutely. Let him know. Or if you're listening to this as a Brewnomics guest, please let us know because we'll do the same thing. We'll fucking get you out there.
yeah.
Because we had a big challenge with that as well. So
Yeah. And-
super important.
Not to
And where
mention,
you can find me personally is usually at your local watering hole drunk at a bar top.
any one of them are there. Just look. Just
Maybe behind your hot grandma at the Albertsons checkout.
I was gonna
With
say
a
was,
pineapple in his cart.
My wife can never hear this podcast.
in his cart officially. You can poke the bear at Emo Budweiser on Twitter.
Oh
little
my,
bit.
yes. Apparently, yeah, there is Emo Budweiser on Twitter.
And for all things Brewnomics, you can look us up pretty much on any social media at Brewnomics.
If you search us and we're not there, we're not fucking there.
We're not there. We're not on TikTok. We decided to abandon that idea.
It's getting banned here.
We're not
soon.
on fucking Snapchat.
I kind of want to see Brewnomics TikTok all of a sudden.
We might make that happen.
Tyler, you want to be on TikTok?
No.
You can make this happen.
No.
Want to do a dance? We'll do a dance.
We can do that.
We saved that for the
Bro,
pay-per-view
it'll be
customers.
amazing. It'll be our
Yeah.
Patreon. Our dicks will be covered by beer bottles. It'll be
Perfect.
beautiful. And so we're
Helicoptering
on
with a
nips.
beer can.
Well, my dick's too small. It looks more like a light switch.
That being said, I'm on Twitter at Sinclair Will, and most other things, including Xbox and whatever else you want to find me on at Sinclair Will. Jerry's at the Basco Fiasco. Make sure you wash your hands. Please, be nice to each other, be courteous. And I think with that, Brew Crew,
Make sure you drink good beer. Give All About Beer a follow. Give them some love.
and we're out. Cheers, Brew Crew.
Cheers,
Have
motherfucker.
fun.
Cheers.
Fuck me. What? Yeah, that's it. So where are we? When we take our break, since you're doing the editing on this one, Will?
Oh, bring it harder.
Uh,
Bring it harder.
At the end
Chop
of it,
me.
you can be like, it was
Just
a little
does
bit
that
longer,
count? Is the
so-
chop?
No,
Fuck.
you wish. I owe this guy Ric Flair chop.
No, 2.
Oh.
I corrected you.
Why would you?
2
Why would you admit to that?
because I
Because
want
he's
to
an
make
honest
sure.
guy.
I want to make sure I don't get any more. And you're like, oh, I forgot. And then it's like 5 months later after the second one, you're like, oh, I forgot. I'm like, no, it's just 2.
Thank you. Guys, by
Yeah,
the way.
thank you guys for having
You don't
us.
need to be in this room anymore, BT.
Yeah, I need to
You
shut
need
stuff
to-
down.
I gotta get the fuck out. Yeah.
So I say,
Warm. I'm so glad I decided to fucking not wear jeans, man.
Your tablet okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Buddy. Thank you. I don't think I hit live for that second part on Facebook.
Doesn't matter. It's probably for the best.
Oops.
I'm gonna do a quick intro and outro for us, just while I got the mics and everything set up.
That's fair.
I'll be out in a minute.
No, that's all right. Do you need any help with anything?
Do you want to help? Maybe we'll take a pee and then we'll come back. How about that?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, and you and I can just.
Yeah, we'll just vamp it a little and it'll be fun. Oh, by the way, goodbye, everybody. Good night. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you later.
That was a fucking piss.